Welcome to Armchair Expert, Experts on Expert. I'm Dax Shepard, and I'm joined by Monica Mouse.
Hi.
Hi. We have such a fun woman on today.
We really do. A legend, a hero.
Legend that I was lucky enough to be seated next to at something, and I really was charmed by her. Bobbi Brown.
Whew.
A lot of Bobbi Browns. I think that was my first question to her. How do you deal with the legendary R&B singer Bobbi Brown?
Right. Well, you didn't ask
his daughter, Bobbi Brown, Millie Bobbi Brown. There's a lot of Bobbi Browns in the mix.
Millie Bobbi Brown is Bobbi Brown's daughter?
No, Bobbi Brown is Whitney Houston and Bobbi Brown's daughter.
Uh-huh.
There's 4 Bobbi Browns in this story.
Oh.
Bobbi Brown, who is married to Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Their daughter, Bobbi Brown.
They have a son, Bobbi Brown, as well.
Son, Bobbi Brown.
Okay.
And then Millie Bobbi Brown.
Separate.
And then Bobbi Brown. So
Yes.
that's 5.
I see.
And I guess I asked her if when she shows up for a reservation, they're wondering like, well, which will
one
it be?
Is it?
Okay, Bobbi is a world-renowned makeup artist, best-selling author, entrepreneur, and founder of Jones Road Beauty. And she is here to talk about her new memoir. Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Okay, memoir.
Good job.
Called Still Bobbi. And gang, I just love her. Big time Laura LeBeau vibes for me.
Yeah, and she's just an epic businesswoman. We get to hear a lot about that. It's really a cool episode.
Yeah. And she's got a for real no shit take on things. Yeah. Please enjoy Bobbi Brown.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
You guys, I just got it yesterday.
Wonderful.
excited.
So it's the real thing.
Is that a lingua franca sweater you're wearing? I'm so excited for this because Teenage Beauty was an iconic book for me. So now it's
Wait,
such
you
a full
read
circle.
Teenage Beauty?
Yes, it was gifted to me when I guess I was maybe in 8th grade from my aunt who loved makeup. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was iconic. It was like the makeup video in book form.
I've written 2 teenage books.
Yeah, so this is such a beautiful
So wait, what was the
circle.
proprietary take for teenagers? Was there also
why don't you
some
say what you-
messaging
Well-
about like embrace what you are?
Well, 100%. You know, it's so normal to feel less than, especially
Yes.
as a teenager. I felt it. There's no question why I'm doing what I do for a living.
Yeah.
And instead of like going overboard, I've realized that the less I do, the more I'm me.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yes.
secret of what makes me happy.
You know what's interesting is like we can conceptually acknowledge that we're attracted to novelty in every space. Like if you see a unique car, that's interesting. If you
Right.
see a unique bit of architecture, but we think that uniqueness in our faces is not going to be appealing, but in fact it is. Like I was trying to tell Monica, like, you're the only one that looks like Monica. It's so exciting.
Yeah, uniqueness.
But I always find similarities in people. I'm like, you look like, I always think I know someone, but I haven't seen that person in like 30 years.
Yeah.
But that's what they used to look like.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I have a pattern recognition obsession too.
Yeah.
Like if there's a voice that's reminding me of something, I cannot stop thinking
Yeah.
about it until I figure it out.
are you a visual learner like I am?
Explain visual learning and maybe I'll agree.
I could explain everything in pictures. I understand about everything. I can't read how to do something,
Yeah.
but if someone shows me I could do it, or if there's pictures.
Then yes, because I've said to Monica many times, if I could watch a video on open heart surgery,
Yeah.
I'm certain I could do it.
Did you get D's in math and science?
Not math and science, but reading and literature.
Okay.
Anything, yes,
Yeah.
that I had to
Well,
do.
he has dyslexia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you probably had something, right? That we just
I
don't know.
I mean, I'm definitely have ADD.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, kind of I don't have OCD, but I have OCD tendencies. I like things lined up, but then I mess them up in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. I love a clean drawer.
Well, let's start with where we
too.
just met.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that I had a lovely time sitting next to you. I hope it was mutual.
It was, are you kidding? It made, the 2 things made that night, besides the award, which is really
So
cool.
it was the Times 100
Right.
most influential people. You were among the nominees or awardees, and
Yeah.
so was Kristen.
Right.
And we were seated at your table, and you and I were seated directly next to each
Right.
other.
And I just remember saying, oh my God, those are the coolest Vans with your tuxedo. That was like the first thing I noticed. See this visual thing. And I'm like,
thank you.
and it's like, to me, it's like, well, this guy's really cool. Like he made that choice to do that because it's what makes him comfortable.
Oh my gosh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Authentic.
And then you, in all the best ways, reminded me of my mother, who's a fucking gangster. She's just self-made. She was a single woman She was a single mother building a company, and she was just indomitable. And I immediately was like, oh yeah, this is the same spirit as my mom.
And what company?
It was in the automotive industry, so all of the press fleet for General Motors, ding, 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 you worked in the GM building forever. Those get lent out to journalists.
Right.
We throw big car shows, and we manage those fleets and all that
Cool.
stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of the car industry, my Papa Sam came from Russia, and he ended up to be Cadillac Sam, but for years he sold Ramblers, DeSotos, Plymouths. He made his name in Chicago with this car dealership. My Uncle Albert had one, so I kind of grew up in the car industry.
Yeah. What did Dad do?
My dad, who was 21 when I was born, a lawyer, personal injury lawyer.
Okay. Was his face on a bus stop
It
ever?
was not, but
Damn
every time
it.
a siren went, or we heard a siren, my mother turned to him and said, "Oh, they're playing our song."
They're playing our song.
But he stopped being a lawyer and became an entrepreneur without even realizing it. He started like following his passion. He became a journalist and a writer for like We magazine. He traveled the world. And then when he needed money, he went back to being a lawyer.
Okay.
And he retired at 70 from being a lawyer, and he started being a children's book author. He has now written 10 children's books.
Oh,
Whoa,
wow.
how cool.
And Mom,
Mom, a homemaker.
A homemaker. Okay. And where did they meet?
They met in college at Drake University in Iowa. And, they're both from Chicago, and my mom made it a semester.
She made it a semester.
A semester,
okay.
yeah.
But had met him in that semester.
Yes.
That's all
Okay,
she needed.
Right, yeah.
So it's kind of worked.
Yeah. And they were, both coincidentally like chubby kids, and they lost weight, and they became incredibly good looking, like gorgeous good looking. So, you'll see the theme in my life about being a chubby kid or gorgeous, like I could never be gorgeous.
Yeah. How many Jewish folks were in the community you grew up in?
How many? It's easier to count the ones that were not Jewish.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
that's good because I was going to
yeah.
ask if there was any kind of like trying to assimilate to this kind of waspy thing, and if that
Right.
was the kernel of why I'm not pretty.
No, but first of all, I was obsessed with the waspy thing, being a Jewish kid. I
Sure.
would see my friends, and they just, they had this great green stuff going on in their houses. It was very Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, right.
But not Ralph Lauren, the real Ralph Lauren.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
The Kennedy kind of aesthetic.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still obsessed with the royal family.
So is Monica.
I like,
That's
yeah.
a great
yeah,
obsession.
Yep.
I'm mad.
You can't get
I
into
don't
it.
like monarchies. Yeah,
I just love the pretense around everything, the tea and the whole thing.
You
And
like the traditions and the
I
pageantry.
do, and I like the traditions of being Jewish. I'm not a religious Jew. I'm and now that I have my kids are married to people from other religions and other cultures, I have a little bit of everything, and so I'm really happy.
I like the Jewish traditions a lot as well. My brother converted, and I've participated in a ton. And of course, half my friends here in LA are Jewish, and I've gotten to go to all of them, and they're great.
Yeah.
I've thought if I was forced at gunpoint to join a religion, that would be the one.
And I was thinking Quaker.
Quakers are great.
I don't
we
know
just
that
learned
much about
them.
Quakers, but I know they like oatmeal, they like simple things.
They're about kindness.
They're about kindness.
Yeah. We just had someone on who grew up
Yeah.
Quaker.
But the
went to a
same
Quaker
in the
school.
Indian culture.
Hinduism has a lot
Yeah.
of that, and Buddhism too.
Right.
And you had a brother, or you had more than that?
There was 3 of us. By the time my dad was 25, he had 3 kids. He was a lawyer. I had a younger brother and a younger sister. And my brother was the middle kid and the most gorgeous, brilliant kid that just had the absolute worst life.
Oh no.
It's very sad.
Really?
Very sad.
What
yeah.
happened?
Why?
Well, he never listened. I think he was too smart for his own good. And back then, parents didn't know what to do with kids that were troubled.
Yes.
They didn't know what to do with me with my learning disorders. They just stopped punishing me.
Right.
And, my mom said, "You'll probably never be a secretary." She was right.
Yeah.
So
You skipped a couple
she let me drop out of typing. So my brother.
Yes, your
Yeah.
brother,
So,
yes.
he was always troubled. He always got in trouble. He didn't pay attention. You couldn't read his writing, but he would do testing and off the charts. And then when he was 16, he took my parents' car and hit a tree. and they told my parents he is going to die. They should call a priest.
Oh,
My mother nursed him back to health, and he just had, a lot of issues.
Yeah.
It was really hard to watch. I did everything I could to help him, and turned out when he finally got diagnosed, he had personality disorder, which
borderline?
borderline personality, which is the worst thing because you can't take a pill for it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he struggled, and then, what do you do if you're struggling? You take drugs. An upper, a downer, a sideways, whatever.
Yeah.
And he ended up, after decades, being homeless.
Oh, man.
And he ended up passing away of a drug overdose.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We had a borderline personality disorder expert on, and I have to say, I entered the interview kind of. I've dealt with that condition in friends and stuff,
Yeah.
and I don't like it, and I think I was really judgmental. But I will say, we had this person on. I was like, oh fuck yeah, that's right. No one wants to be born this way.
Yeah.
The foundational problem is I really don't believe you love me, and I'm going to kind of manifest or prove that. And what a hard way to go through life. And I've since met people since we had that episode on that are like, oh my God, I love that episode. I'm BDP. I've been working on it for 4 years. I'm like, that's right, man.
Wow.
All these people are just like, you're born with this.
Right. And, the sad thing is for my dad, who's still alive, he's 90 and a half years old, is that he just was, every time Michael would do something stupid, he was just angry and pissed, and they'd scream at each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, it's like as if he has cancer. He has
Exactly.
something. He can't help. He could have done this. I told him to do this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and like my dad said, here I've got this daughter that gets times 100, and I've got this homeless kid. I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
Yeah, and he's probably, I'm sure he feels guilty about
He
that.
does. He does.
Because, you can't, at some point you can't protect your kids,
No.
and then that's
You
hard.
feel bad.
You feel
you
bad.
do. But his, when he passed away, we had a memorial for him, and it was so healing because all of his friends came from, when he was younger, and all we did is talk about the good Michael and all the great things. So we got to walk away and say, okay, let's just not think about all the bad things because trust me, it was bad.
In your success, because you're like escalating, and that's happening simultaneously. Are you feeling a lot of guilt?
Well, my husband and I mean, I'm so lucky I have my husband because he's a rock and he would deal with things and his secretary would deal with things. There was always a phone call or an emergency from, it started out as simple as the electricity is going off. And then it was way, way worse. And, I'd be on someone's yacht having this amazing dinner and the phone would ring, or I'd be in Paris at a great restaurant and it'd be my brother who needs something, and we'd have to stop what we're doing.
Right.
Like the juxtaposition was bizarre.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it made me feel terrible for him, but I did everything in my power. I could look at myself in the mirror and say, Bobbi, you did everything in your power.
Yeah, that's great. You didn't feel that kind
Yeah,
of
I'm glad.
survivor's guilt.
No.
Like, why didn't he also get my...
No, my normalness.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
And it's weird. How could people growing up in the same house? One is, I hate to say I'm normal, but I'm kind of normal
You're
and
functioning.
real. I'm functioning.
Yeah, you're within the spectrum of
I'm
normal.
totally
Yeah.
in the spectrum, and he was not.
Yeah.
And then I have a baby sister whose whole life is about helping others.
You have 3 boys.
I have 3 boys.
2 little girls.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine the stress of that for your mother must have been pretty overwhelming.
I think so. But, upper middle class suburbs, my dad, a lawyer, he made a good salary. We always had some help in the house, some interesting help. We had Charlie, who my dad got out of jail and he babysat us for years. That's not,
Wow,
not in the book,
what a
but we
leap of
had
faith.
Charlie. And the last day Charlie worked for us, if you opened our coat closet, you'd see a car because he drove a car through the garage into the coat closet. So my dad finally fired him after decades.
Charlie.
Yeah,
Charlie.
Yeah.
He hadn't been in prison for another vehicular incident, had he?
I don't think he was in prison since my dad helped him.
And what I know from the book is you're insanely close to your dad. You
am.
call him endlessly throughout your life
Yeah.
for advice, to report.
Right.
The night you meet Stephen, you call him the same. My
Yeah.
husband. That's a very clear and special relationship.
Yeah.
What was the relationship with mom?
It was, my mom was diagnosed with manic depressive and she had her first quote unquote nervous breakdown when I was in 7th grade.
This would have been in the 70s, right? So they don't know
Yeah.
anything
They don't
about
know
how to
anything.
deal with it.
right when one flew out of the cuckoo's nest came up.
Oh, so they just thought
Yeah.
she was crazy.
We would visit her in the hospital, and everyone else looked like that movie. She was on so many drugs, like they just gave her a lot of lithium, and she just was making like ashtrays. I don't know what she was making.
Oh, wow.
How scary was
That's
that?
scary.
It was intense. It was really intense, but I'm someone that always sees the positive. I got to get in the car with my dad, just me and him, and drive to the hospital and listen to music and talk, and I look at that as a positive. I got really close to my dad, and then Mom came home, and things got better, and then they got divorced, and then she met a great guy. She married him,
That's rare good.
and then he died.
Oh,
He had a massive heart attack and died. I happen to have been home from college.
What were you telling peers when they would come over and Mom wasn't there? Were you able to admit she's away somewhere?
I don't remember. Isn't that so weird? I don't remember, and I don't remember it being such a big deal.
Yeah.
I do remember the woman my dad hired, named Elsie, who let us have butter on our buns with our hamburgers and French fries. And my mother was always a health nut, and we could only
Because
eat
of the weight
because
kind
of
of
I think
obsession.
her weight turned into a health obsession.
Right.
So we became all healthy people because of it.
She suggested that you needed to get a nose job if you
Yeah,
wanted
my mom
to be...
came to me one day in bed, and she said, "I think you're so pretty." And I said, "Thanks, Mom." And we were really close. And she said, "But I think you'd be gorgeous if you had your nose fixed."
I love fixed as a term.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
had all the Jewish
yeah.
girls had their nose fixed. And I remember looking at her and saying, "I don't think there's anything wrong with my nose." And she said, "Yeah, but it would look so cute." I said, my nose is fine. And she said, "When you're older, you're probably going to need your eyes done too."
Okay.
And which I haven't done. It's it's on my list, but
What does she
I
even
do that
mean?
outpatient
Like
if you
raise?
want.
yeah, no, yeah,
a
because
lift?
or like you
Okay.
take the excess skin out. It's the one plastic surgery that I see people do that I think looks great, but I'm just don't want to do it.
Okay. And how old were you when she said this about
I think I was just started college.
you? Okay.
You're not in need of that at 6. I don't
No,
want
you
to
look
broadcast your age.
great.
but
I'm
that-
68 years old.
And you're not in need of it.
I don't. This, and my lines in my face, I think look okay.
They do.
No,
they
yeah.
look great.
You're a babe. Well, I think I
Yeah.
told you that when I was sitting next to you.
Oh, I would remember that.
Yeah.
I just remember the shout out from Snoop Dogg. That was like, which I thought I was so cool until the next day I found out that my brother-in-law's friend wrote his monologue. That's how I got in it. Snoop really didn't know who I was.
Well, by hook or crook. So you were not a great student.
I wasn't.
How did you get into Emerson?
Well, I felt bad I wasn't a great student. I really thought I was dumb. I just
right.
thought I was stupid. I mean, I'm like, and now I realize things that are boring don't interest me. And things that are interesting really interest me.
As
And
we
I'm-
learn more about ADHD, it sounds like you just really have.
Yeah.
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 that.
And I do really well like when I'm driving or when I'm moving. It's funny, I bought a book on ADHD, adult ADHD.
Yeah.
I couldn't read it. We don't read books.
Yeah. That's a pretty funny.
But I,
yeah.
but I kind
True.
of,
Leaf
It's
through.
like-
through it.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
to deal with blindness as a
Yeah,
book.
exactly. It kind of.
Oh, my
So I like your mom. I figured things out.
Right.
Like I literally print things out and I use a pen and I fix it and then I hand it to someone to type
Yeah.
and they retype it and give it back to me and I read it again and give it.
So how'd you get into Emerson?
It was my third college, and I went to University of Wisconsin first at Oshkosh, not Madison. Followed a boyfriend. I graduated high school early, not because I was smart, but because I was always getting my work done. And so we went, and then we all transferred to University of Arizona for a year.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
In
With the
Tucson.
boyfriend.
In Tucson with the boyfriend.
Okay, great.
Who I'd been with for 5 years. We had this friend, and the three of us all became Three Musketeers. And then in the end of the summer, the first boyfriend, the high school boyfriend, fell in love with the other guy.
Oh.
Because he just realized he was gay.
Oh, wow.
But the bad news, the other guy and me fell in love.
Oh, boy.
What
This is a real
twisted
triangle.
Yeah.
triangle here.
And I stayed with the other guy for 12 years
Wow.
until I met my husband.
You're such a serial monogamous because you've been, what,
37 years
37
married,
years
yeah.
with
Wow.
Steven.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. I know how to have a happy marriage. Okay.
Do tell, please.
Everyone get your pens out.
Yeah.
Know it pisses them off don't do it.
Yeah, that seems easy,
And
but it's
say, I'm
really
sorry.
hard to do.
I'm sorry I
Yeah.
upset you.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I
Apologies.
was wrong,
Yeah.
but I'm sorry. I'm sorry I upset you.
I don't want you to be upset.
Right.
And if I played a role in it, I don't.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. Really sorry.
Exactly.
So you got to Emerson.
Yeah, I got to Emerson. I literally flew up, saw the Magic Pan Outdoor Cafe. You know, being from Chicago, I'm like, I want to go here. And I got in like instantly the day before school started. I created my own major. They didn't have a makeup major.
Okay.
They let me create one.
It was theatrical makeup.
Theatrical makeup and a minor in photography, yeah.
Did you stick with photography in any capacity? Like,
Are you kidding?
Are you?
She loves visuals.
I'm like my
right.
Instagram is like I'm
You're active.
yeah, I'm active. and if I'm not putting something up, I'm scrolling and you know
You
it
like that medium.
It feeds my curiosity.
It's also an ADHD salve.
Yeah, it calms me down too. I had a business coach, you know, I said to her, I said, you know, I come home at night, my family's watching TV, they're watching, and I'm sitting there with my iPad. And my husband's always like, what are you doing? You're not paying attention. I'm like, I am. She said, it calms you down. It's like
Yeah.
you're knitting.
Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah.
I mean, your life is about visuals, so it doesn't. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's literally painting the face, so it makes sense.
But I'm also like in, I don't know what the word is, insatiable, curious.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about things. I always think there's an answer to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'll find it.
Well, there's something in that. That tells me there's like just a simmering maybe anxiety. And
Oh,
if I know how
totally.
it works, I can alleviate the anxiety.
Well, it's funny. I texted my girlfriends from, you know, the original girlfriends that we all like raised our kids together, you know, because I'm going deep into this book thing. And I thank them for being there for me for all the years, you know, and I said, I honestly, right now, and they said, how are you doing? I said, I don't know if I should take a Xanax or an Adderall. And my one girl said, I would take a Xanax. I said, well, I took an Adderall.
So you graduate with this degree. Now, when you graduated with that, did you have fantasies of working in film and television?
Absolutely.
That was the goal?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to be a movie makeup artist. It was glamorous.
Yeah.
When I was in college, I wrote a letter to my stepfather's uncle, Sheldon Keller, who was a very famous producer, and, you know, saying, I want to be a makeup artist. I want to come to LA. Took him 3 months to write me back. He sent me my letter back with all the spelling corrections and said, don't ever send a letter like this until you proofread it. And that was it. So I said, all right, I guess I'm not going into
Oh, boy.
I'm not going
Tough love.
So then I moved to New York instead.
Great.
Wow. Okay, so initially that did appeal to you. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna
But it's boring.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah,
my
it is
stereotype
boring.
of makeup artists. I've been working with them very closely for 20 plus years. First of all, I love them. As a department, they're generally my favorite
Right.
department.
Yeah.
My stereotype is all of them were pretty popular, pretty darn social, pretty empathetic, but not the homecoming queen. They were like popular, but they
Right.
weren't the belle of the ball. Do you
Right.
feel like that?
Well, I was in the popular group.
Right.
There was no question. I was in the popular group. I always felt that and my friends say I was wrong. I always felt that I had to work really hard to, you know, to be liked.
Yeah.
You know, but I think it's also my size. You know, I'm 5 foot tall.
Yeah, love it.
So you are
Yeah.
too? Mm-hmm. You know, we have a different thing.
Yep.
It's a thing, and it makes us successful.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make you totally neurotic and insecure.
Or both.
Or
Does
both,
it-
yeah.
Does it anger you when people try to help you?
No.
Okay.
No.
My wife's got that. She's
No.
like, I'm not a baby. You don't need
Right.
to do this and that.
Oh
and
no,
this."
I'm working really hard with a physical, you know, trainer on being able to, no matter what, get off the floor
Right.
and take my suitcase and put it in the, you know, on top of. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to ask someone to do that. I don't want help getting in and out of cars. And I don't want anyone opening up a jar for me. You know when you get those water bottles and I'm
yeah.
like, oh my God. So I won't let anyone do
Your
it.
training. I want to see your training session.
Yeah.
Just like 1,000 bottles lined up,
Yeah.
cracking the seal. Okay, so you get to New York
Yeah.
in 1980?
I graduated in 79, 1980.
When I was reading this chapter, I was like, Oh, this is so similar to being an aspiring actor and just landing in LA and going like, how the fuck?
Right.
Wait, there's a union. How do I get in the union? People have agents. How does one get an
Right.
agent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? We only figured it out, right? Because we're ninjas.
Yes.
Like everyone's like, is the book about resiliency? Not really. It's about being a ninja. It's about like figuring it out, what you have to do.
Following leads. You're almost like a detective.
And asking questions. I mean, I'm very naive, and that's like, I love that quality about me.
Yeah.
But I'm not afraid to ask questions. But, you know, I literally opened up the Yellow Pages when I got to New York. I just looked up models, modeling agencies, and I figured it out. Kind of what I do now on, ChatGPT.
Well, you had a stopover, though, at a transvestite's house, which is fascinating.
No. He came to my house.
Oh, he came to your
He came to my
house.
house. That was terrifying, especially back then.
Yeah.
You know.
He came to get your
Well, no, I needed to make money
Yeah.
because so I put an ad in the Village Voice, makeup lessons, makeup artist teaching,
Yeah.
and some guy called and said, "I'd love to come. I'm an actor playing a role." I said, "Great." I don't remember if it was $100, $200, and he came to my then boyfriend's studio with his Louis Vuitton bag, beat up Louis Vuitton bag, full of women's lingerie.
Oh, wow.
And like, Gucci, he was wearing Gucci like
Sure.
loafers. And I'm like, this guy's from Connecticut. And
And he got in outfit after outfit 'cause he
Yeah.
wanted a different look for each.
he wanted me to teach him a different look for each.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Well, hold on. We got to go back, I think, a second. So when you feel like you learned when you were in college, like you learned the techniques.
No, I didn't learn anything about makeup. I signed up for everything. I became the makeup artist to the film department, the plays. I did everything. And so I would have to read the scripts, which were not easy for me, and visualize what the characters should be and then design the makeup.
Wow.
And,
So it's like trial and error a little
Yeah,
bit.
and I figured it out. And in retrospect, it's taught me what not to do in makeup. Like, yeah, you're going to put something grayish on your lips, you're going to look dead. Okay?
Yeah.
So, I use a
Exactly.
lot of that. You want to look young, you do pink on the cheeks.
Uh-huh.
So I learned a
Interesting.
lot of things.
But we're already getting to what is true in so many industries, which is like being creative is really kind of part of. It's just one sliver of the pie.
It is.
Being talented is one sliver.
Right.
It's the Yellow Pages and the fucking Village
Yeah.
Voice ad, and it's the going to
Right.
the union, going, how do I get in? That's
Yeah.
sadly for
Everything.
artistic people, that's about 70% of it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it is. And by the way, even when you made it, even after I had a Vogue cover, I still had to work on it.
Yes.
I mean, you have to work on everything all the time. And when people say it's so hard, I'm like, yeah. What isn't hard in life? Everything's hard.
Exactly.
What
Yeah.
would you say were the milestones that bring you to 1990 when you decide to make your first few products?
Well, when I decided to make the first products, because I accidentally met a chemist
Okay.
who made his own lipstick. And I said, I always wanted to make a lipstick. He said, tell me about it. I said, I wanted it to not smell bad. I wanted it to be creamy and not dry, not greasy. And I wanted it to be the color of my lips.
So really quick, that's your novel proprietary take on makeup.
Yeah.
So had you already obviously discovered that was your brand and your
Yes.
point of view? When did that happen?
Well, when I first started doing that kind of makeup, I had people saying, you're never going to work if you do that. People want to have the white faces and the contouring and the overlining and the blue and the yellow.
I mean, this is the 80s,
Oh, this is
remind
the
everyone.
80s.
People have
Yeah.
wild slashes
Yeah.
of pink on their
Right,
face
right.
and spattered paint
And
that
I
you're
just,
learning.
which I love, I did fashion shows. I loved all that fun, creative, but I made it look beautiful. I didn't I didn't find it attractive, especially, I don't think I was that talented in that kind of makeup. So I started doing things like, how's this for brilliant? Finding a foundation that was the color of your skin. It wasn't popular. Well,
Yes.
you don't know, but your mother and your grandmother
No,
know.
I know. I was like, I need to thank Bobbi for this. That is the first, Bobbi Brown is the first makeup brand that I had that had my color
Yeah. And
for my
duh.
face.
I mean, to me, it's like, it's common sense. How do you not, the way to choose a foundation is you try it on the side of your face. If it disappears, it's the right color.
But lots of brands don't even have all the options. Like you had such a wide range.
But they have, and a lot of brands have the options, but they're bad options because who's
Yeah.
making these decisions?
right,
Not a
exactly.
makeup artist.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert.
if you dare. By 1990, are you kind of a famous makeup artist?
I am in the fashion industry.
Right.
I am, I mean, by 1990, I had a cover of Vogue, and I was written about in the magazines. Bobbi Brown says the trend for the season.
Yeah.
But I also was a, new mom. My oldest son was born in 1990.
The publicity angle's enormous in this, right? When do you figure out that aspect? Like, being in that magazine's huge. How do I get in that magazine?
Yeah. I mean, look, I knew the first time I did Glamour magazine and it said on the side, really small, hair and makeup by Bobbi Brown.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And then I got phone calls. And then the more I got that and the more like people liked either my work or mostly I think they liked me.
So this is huge. You're a makeup artist, and especially if you're a woman, you're going to spend 3.5 hours with sometimes on a day, like going to the Emmys,
Right.
whatever that is, in a few weeks. Kristen will be with someone in
Right.
her face for 3.5
Probably
hours.
the same person she usually uses because it's about
They're
relationships.
great, but their personality is wonderful.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's
Yes,
100%.
huge part of it.
It's your posse. I mean, I have my posse, you know.
Again, this Howard Rourke notion that you'll just be brilliant and everyone will just fucking deal with whatever because you're brilliant. That is not how the world works in any way.
No. And you've got to figure it out. And sometimes it works. And guess what? Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then you have to say, okay, that didn't work. What can I do about it now?
Back then, was it like for the clients, you had clients and they brought you on for the covers, or was the magazine hiring
It was
you?
usually the stylist, the photographer.
Okay, got it.
And then when I was a fashion makeup artist, celebrities were it was
right,
not.
you weren't supposed to,
No,
right?
celebrities were not that, unless you were Elizabeth Taylor on the cover of Bazaar. It wasn't all about the celebrities.
Yeah, it was
so it was the
models.
supermodels. It was
Yeah.
the Cindy's, Naomi, Linda,
Yeah, who are some
Christy.
of the gals you were working with?
Cindy Crawford, Linda Evangelista, Christy Turlington.
She's my favorite. I watched that models doc, which I knew nothing about any of
Right.
those folks, and I was like, oh, that's the one I
You've
like.
never met her?
No. We watched that thing, and then I was at the Sphere, and I looked over, and I was like, oh my God, honey, she's right there.
She
I was
is
thrilled.
the nicest. I see her in a lot of parties in the Hamptons. She is the nicest. She hasn't done one thing to her
was gonna say,
face.
talk about natural.
She is stunning and wonderful and,
incredible.
still happily married.
She's an anomaly.
She is. She really is.
Okay, so you want this lipstick.
Yeah.
You, through your savviness and again your work ethic and figuring things out, you do end up getting this in Bergdorf's.
Well, he made a lipstick for me, and
Okay.
it was the color of my lips, and I loved it. And I said, "Oh my God, I bet I could sell this." And he said, "Well, why don't we sell it?" He says, "I'll make it. I'll give it to you. We'll charge $15. You take $7.50. I take $7.50." I said, "Great."
Yeah.
And I said, "People are going to love this." Then I realized people have different colored lips. This is not going to look good
right.
on someone with darker lips or
Yeah.
paler lips. So, my ninja brain is like, okay, what colors? And honestly, I was going to the park with my kid. They had nanny friends. I looked at women from all over the world, and I kind of started studying the lips and realizing, some women of color had pink lips, some had dark purple lips.
Yeah.
Indian women have this kind of really cool heather blue lips. And by the way, in the industry, most of the magazines and makeup artists would say, this is how you correct if your lips are too dark.
Right,
I don't believe in
exactly.
correcting. I believe in enhancing.
Yes.
I don't draw pencils outside of my lips.
Right.
Same. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to.
Yeah, it's true.
Shut up.
You have
Shut
perfect
up. This is
lips.
like me
Thank
talking about
you.
my height or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But you know what? We all have gifts in life. And when you start realizing your superpower, that I think is the secret.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go like, I don't have the nose I want. If my mom had said, let's fix it, I might have said yes.
Oh, I know. I've been. Thank God you're coming to me for this.
But I heard you and Bradley Cooper talking about you guys didn't like your faces when you were young. I'm like, what the hell? You guys
I
were
know.
so cute.
Isn't it comforting that Bradley says that? I'm like, all right, no one's immune to.
But everybody, being a makeup artist, the stuff you hear, I mean, being
from
in the,
supermodels.
From supermodel. No, I mean, and over my years, I did Mike Tyson, Matthew McConaughey, Barack Obama, it's like Jill Biden,
Yeah.
it's like you get to hear how everyone feels about themselves.
And no one's
And
like,
if no one is like, I'm
thrilled.
fabulous,
right.
right?
Yeah. No one's like,
You
I
know.
nailed it.
I mean, one famous supermodel, I'll never forget, and I can't believe I'm telling you this story. She lifted up her shirt and she said, could you just tell me, are they the same size?
Of course not. None of them are.
I said yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I lied. I'm
That's
sorry.
fine. That's
What was I gonna
fine.
say?
Yeah, just lie and
No
we'll
wonder
keep
you've
it
been married
moving.
for so long.
Right, I'm like,
So how many different colors?
10. We launched with 10, and I started just selling them to people that would want to buy them, friends and neighbors, whatever. And then one day I was having lunch with a friend of mine who happened to be the beauty editor of Glamour magazine. You know, we're talking about how are the kids. She had just had a baby. I had a baby. And she's like, what else is going on? I said, well, I'm doing this little project. We didn't call it side hustles back then.
Yeah.
And she said, tell me about it. She goes, oh my God, can I write about it? I'm like, why would you want to write about it?
Yeah.
Now I know that's called PR.
Yeah.
And we wrote about it and got bombarded with orders because it was so different.
And these were like someone would send you mail, right, to request it at that
no,
point?
it
There's
was,
no
yeah.
email
no,
or
there
anything?
was a phone. No,
there's a phone.
there was a phone number. I
Okay.
think it was the chemist or my home phone. I don't even remember.
Wow.
My husband, Stephen, who was in law school at the time, would literally mail them out to the post office. And eventually we brought my sister-in-law in to do the books. And I was, still a working makeup artist because with Stephen in law school, we needed to pay the mortgage.
Yes. And then you get into Bergdorf's.
We got into Bergdorf's not because I pitched them.
Okay.
Because I was at a party in the city and I said to someone, I thought she was a fancy lady, thanks for inviting me. And she said, oh, I'm a big fan. I said, oh, you know who I am? She goes, I do. I said, well, what do you do? She said, I'm the cosmetics buyer at
Oh, my
Bergdorf
God.
Goodman. I said, oh, I'm working on this lipstick. She goes, why don't we take it?
Let's give it a run.
Yeah.
And the
So,
expectation was that you would move hopefully 100 a month.
yeah, 100 a month.
And you immediately started moving 100 a day.
Yes, in the beginning. Yeah. And then while things were growing, we joined with this other couple, business partners.
Right. Who were they? I just read another couple.
Yeah, another
were they
couple.
friends or
They were friends.
Okay.
Yeah, they were
That's in
friends.
quotes
you
for
put it
the
in quotes, so I
listener.
guess I know where the relationship
They were friends.
went.
It was I don't go deep into it in
Yeah.
the book, but it was a great relationship. We did really well. It was really tough.
Yeah.
But I learned so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned so much.
Yeah.
And my husband was so great because I'd be laying in bed at night, like literally in tears. And he would say, first of all, we don't talk about things at night when he's watching Seinfeld. That was our night. And, we'll talk about it in the morning. And he said, but let them win the battle. We're going to win the war. I had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah.
But he just would calm down.
Yeah,
It's
he's the
stressful.
steady
Oh my
rocket
God.
Gibraltar.
He literally, he's the guy you want on speed dial for anything you need anytime.
Is he?
Will
Did
you
you marry
give
your
us his
dad?
number?
I did not marry my dad.
You did not marry your
No,
dad.
I married someone that is as smart as my dad or even smarter.
Okay, but different temperament
Very
altogether.
different temperament. And he just, my husband knows.
You're your dad.
I'm kind of my dad. I am.
There we
I'm
go, there
kind
we
of
go.
my dad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's best not to marry yourself.
Yeah.
So it grows incredibly fast, which I would, again, we talk about all the things. A lot of people would think, oh, if I have a great product and people want it, that's that. But growing is nearly impossible, right?
It's tough.
Because you're constantly trying to anticipate how much can we now bet on this? Because we got to scale up, but
Yeah.
is it going to stay like that whole?
Oh, it's you just a lot of it is guesses. A lot of it now is data. It's either data or data. I never know what it is.
Yeah. If you're a scientist, it's data, and if you're a normal person, it's data.
Right, exactly. But basically, I go with my gut. My son, who's, is the CEO of the company, is like, no, Mom, it's all data. So I'm
Right,
like, okay,
right.
fine. So when you put that stuff together, it kind
Yeah.
of works.
So you're nimble, you're flexible, you're
Right.
pivoting a lot,
Yeah.
and you're young.
Well, when the first time, what really put me on the map and put Bobbi Brown Cosmetics on the map, because we sold Bobbi Brown Cosmetics to Estee Lauder after 4.5 years.
So 95,
Yeah,
you
so
sell
95 we sell it.
it for $75 million.
That's kind of the answer, not
Okay.
really. But
Okay.
yeah, only because there was a 25-year buyout. So,
Can you
Oh,
tell
you-
us details of that for people who don't
yeah,
know?
I think it's really, really
So
relevant.
I mean, whatever. Look, I'm so lucky I have my husband because I don't really understand it, and he would probably correct me
Yeah.
on 10 different things. But whatever number was decided, we'll sell the company. It was also plus whatever percentage on some sales for the next.
Yes, because
years.
they kept you in.
Yeah, they
wanted you to
Right,
continue to run the
right,
brand.
Right. And I stayed for 22 years.
Right. So that was my question. So you get 75, but then you also have some participation, I imagine, and then you have a salary.
Some participation. Oh, yes. Meaning we would get percentage of sales
Yes.
at the end of the year.
I say the 75 million, not to embarrass
Yeah.
you or tell people your business, but I think it's really relevant to think that you started this company and 4.5 years later, $75 million in 1995 is really like selling for 200 million now, 250. It's an enormous success.
It was. Well, when I left the company, it was $1 billion brand.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Now, my question, and this is why I want the details of the contract, was a 25-year non-compete standard? That feels so long.
I don't know. I've heard different. Look, when I left Bobbi Brown Cosmetics, I had 4.5 years left, which on someone who's very impatient is like, and I was 59 years old. I was just like, oh my God.
No, it must have been absolutely
Forever.
brutal. Yeah.
Just forever.
Like microwave minutes. Like you put something in the microwave and you're waiting 4.5 years.
And so I literally, when I left, I was like, what am I going to do? Because I'm not someone that sits idly by and knits or needle points or, play kaluki or whatever other people do.
So they acquired it in 95. By 2012, Bobbi Brown is responsible for 10% of all total sales for Estee Lauder. So it's enormously successful. They're clearly letting you run it without any issue, and it's thriving.
Okay, that's not exactly.
There were issues.
It was doing really well, and they were letting me run it without anything for a long time.
Okay,
and then it changed.
There was a new CEO.
New
came
CEO, and everything really became very homogenous, whatever.
Well, antithetical to the original brand, like they wanted a contour because that's popular right now, and you're anti-contour.
It just didn't make sense for me to change what the brand was built on. It made no sense.
You can't lose the identity of the brand.
When, I know there were these like companies like, the Kardashians and all. I can't compete with someone that I'm not. I'd rather just be the best version of myself. And that's the business too. And I thought I knew the customer. I thought I knew what women really want.
Yeah.
And, my customer always wanted to look like themselves, but better.
Yeah.
Right. Now, is it possible you were wrong?
Yeah, possible, but I wasn't.
Let's just put it this way.
I don't think so.
No.
Your second venture proves that. But
yeah.
It'd be worth examining. Like, okay, at the time you had started that trend and that trend took off.
Right.
Is it possible the trend was moving away from that, or perhaps 10% of all the market would want to look that way, but 90% would want to no.
Sometimes things go in cycles, and if I was one of these people that followed all those cycles, we would have no identity, and we wouldn't be true to anything. Sometimes you have to kind of sit back and wait for things to bounce back. Like natural beauty to me is not a trend. It's what's supposed to be. And, and I've always embraced lines in people's faces and freckles and different color skin and gaps in the teeth.
Well, that's interestingly one of the many things that started happening, which is you found this incredible model with a gap in her teeth.
Right.
You did a whole campaign, only to find out later they had airbrushed her teeth to fix it.
Without telling me or asking me. I was pissed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were some of the things that started
happening?
Accruing?
Oh my God, when I used to interview every single person that joined the brand, from, the person that greets people when they walked in, every single person. And little by little, people were popping up. I'm the head of international. I'm the head of this. And I was like, excuse me? And I remember like having a conniption fit and saying, and the president at the time she said, they didn't consult me either. She goes, there's nothing I could do about it. And so little by little, it started just kind of taking away from what the essence of the brand is.
Yeah.
And there were moments where they were coming in and you thought they were looking for your sign off or approval, and you would disagree, and they would say, it's already been, it's
so
being released.
Why are you bothering me?
Yeah, this is like kind of just pageantry that you're...
And again, my naivete was, I got this, I could fix this,
But what about the internal confidence in that period? Because I even have waves. We'll have, over the last 2 years, the pushback to wokeness gave rise to this incredibly successful round of podcasters and comedians. And you're just watching this huge swell, and you go like, "Fuck!" Or like, you have to. It's scary. It can create doubt.
Things change, right? Things change, and I think the important thing is don't rush into anything. Just kind of sit back and observe, and let it be, and say, "Okay, what is right for me? What is right for it?" And if you try something different and it doesn't work, go back.
But was there any moment where you were like, man, do I? Like, I'm fighting for the, no.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm,
You know it's so inside now. You know what it is.
And, I'm sure if people would be interviewed, Bobbi was really difficult to work with. Yes.
Well, we're
'cause-
going to get to that.
Yeah. But yes, if, by the way, if a color shifted in the market, I was difficult. Go back and fix it.
Yeah.
I cared about these stupid things.
Yeah.
And, I was told, get out of the details. No, you can't.
that's the whole point.
It's the whole point.
Yeah.
And, I saw really, it's a very different company now.
Yeah.
Does it stress you out that it still has your name on it?
No, it would probably, this is a terrible thing to admit, but it would probably stress me out if it was flying and doing phenomenally well without me.
Yeah. That's what would kill me.
That's very
Yeah.
honest.
I mean, it is. It's honest.
Yeah.
Like they thought, they didn't need me anymore.
Yep.
So in 2016, this growing situation comes to a head. It's 3 years of this where
Right.
you're really, it's getting worse and worse and
Yeah.
worse. And your overall well-being is suffering.
Yeah.
You also have 2 kids who've just left for college. So I want to go back a little bit and talk about how you decided at that time, running the brand in New York City, that you guys would go to New Jersey and live there and raise your family there. I think that's a pretty unique decision for someone.
We moved to Montclair, New Jersey the day we got back from our honeymoon.
Oh, you did?
We did. We decided, my husband and I decided we just didn't want to raise New York City kids. And we wanted to be more normal.
Yeah.
And so, I would come home from these events and, go in the Lincoln Tunnel. I always had a driver and I would take my high shoes off. I would, my hair would go in a scrunchie. I'd put my clogs on and my fanny pack. Now they're all stylish.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But back then, look, I'm wearing my Gucci clogs today. So, I felt really myself when I went home in my life in Montclair, New Jersey.
Would it be fair to say that the daytime thing, that it helped you compartmentalize the stress of the daytime thing? It's like, I'm
100%.
leaving it, I'm going into a completely different culture and world.
100%. I would get in that Lincoln Tunnel and I would breathe. I would probably call my mother or my father, just, get that out of the way, and then call Steven and say, what are we doing for dinner? Like, I didn't plan. It was like, what are we doing for dinner? What do the kids have tonight? Where are their soccer things? Where,
That could be the danger of living in New York, because you leave the office, well, let's walk together.
Right.
Now we're having drinks together. Now, and then just the work never, ever ends.
Right. And there was no after work drinks. You just, because I had a different life, like my second job.
Yeah.
And by the way, anyone that knows me, my kids are just the most important thing in my life.
Yeah.
Always were.
Yeah. You wrote a thing in there that I can already sense coming, and I try to remind myself, which is like, the shit in the hallway drove you nuts. The shoes at the door drove you nuts. All the clutter drove you nuts. And now they're gone and it's dead clean. And you're like, I fucking hate this.
Right.
I hate my job.
Right.
Like, it's really...
Yeah.
I think about this so often. It's like Coach Paterno, who had this like glorious career. They have a statue in front of Penn of him. Then the Sandusky things happen. They take it down. He died. I'm like, it's never too late for this incredible life to just turn to shit.
Right. Yeah.
And did it feel like, I thought I had like a fairy tale life, and now I feel like it's turned to shit.
No, I didn't think it turned to shit. I mean, when it was really a tough period when I left the brand.
You lost both your identities, really.
I lost it. I lost it. But, after 2 days of drinking tequila with my neighbors, seriously, I just started calling people and going out and finding things to do. And then I had a bunch of fun, cool gigs to do. And
But you couldn't talk about it, right?
No, until the, the announcement. Like, I'll never forget, someone called my husband and said, what are we going to tell everyone? Could we just tell everyone that Bobbi's sick? And my husband said, fuck no.
Exactly.
He said, why don't we just tell them the truth? And so, but I still wasn't at liberty until the announcement came out.
Well, this situation ultimately came to a head, and there was a moment where they offered you the same salary.
Yeah, same or more.
Or more, to go away and show up when needed for kind of PR, or when they were wooing another company they wanted to buy.
Right. What they said is they want you to be the head of the brand, but get out of the day-to-day. And to me, that's firing. So they will say they didn't fire me.
Yeah.
And they would still say it today. But I was fired. I mean, the day-to-day is why I did what I did.
Yeah, it's
I
your
loved
brand.
It was my baby, and I thought it was my brand.
Yeah.
And so, I just said no.
Now,
Good for you.
in retrospect, do you think it could have grown to what it grew to without the infrastructure of Estee Lauder? Or do you think if you had not sold, you could have grown it into that same thing without them?
Well, I think right now Jones Road is bigger than the current Bobbi Brown. I don't know that for sure, but I've been told that by some people.
Right.
And we've got like a few, 40 people running around.
Right. So probably.
Well, it's a totally different day and age. Like back then, I would go into Neiman Marcus and have 40 to 100 women waiting for me. Now we launch something, we've got the internet and we've got, thousands and thousands. Like,
and there's Sephora's now, and like department stores are not really the place.
Yeah. I mean, Jones Road is direct to consumer, 90% of our sales, 10% we have stores. I've been driving all over with my husband looking for a location in LA.
Ooh.
So I'll have to get your take later.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, myself included, that would have been a very hard no. Just knowing I could collect, you're like, I'm already fucked. It's already not my brand. Minimally, I guess I should take some money.
Right. Well, my very good friend Mickey Drexler said, take the money, start a new brand. I said, no. I just, because it wasn't just, here's the money, but it's basically, they said to my husband, she's got to be there if the team needs a question, but she can't tell them if she doesn't like something. I'm like, what the fuck?
Also, they wanted you to sign a non-disparage.
They wanted to sign a non-disparage, which I'm trying not to say bad things except the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's bad, get me a bottle of tequila and ask me the questions off camera.
Well, here's some dirt.
But honestly, I say this from the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful for everything that I learned from Estee Lauder.
Yeah.
And most of the years were amazing. The last couple years were not.
Right.
And I know that's what everyone wants to talk about.
Yeah.
But, for the years, Leonard Lauder, who just passed away, he was my mentor. He was like a father to me. I can call him and say anything to him and ask him any question. He never judged me for not being a, smart, business graduate.
Yeah.
And he thought I was brilliant. And he would say, Bobbi, this is what we got to do. How can we do this? And we would come up with a solution. Well, that is not what happened to the organization at the end.
Yeah, it sounds like from 95 to 2012 was pretty great.
It was.
Yeah.
It was really
Which
great.
Is 17 years at a job where you love that's a big win.
Yeah, and so I left in 17, I think. Was it 16 or 17? You probably know more than me.
You left in 16.
In 16, yeah.
Because you launched in 2020.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Okay, so you do a lot of weird, interesting things in that gap. You just keep moving is what you do, which I think is the advisable path. And you become a style editor at Yahoo.
I became the beauty editor of Yahoo, which was really cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, really fun. But I did that when I was still at the brand.
Okay.
Because,
you had to get
and I had to
permission.
get permission. So I did that. And then when I left the brand, the first project was develop a hotel with my husband called The George in Montclair.
Ooh.
31 unique rooms.
Oh, wow, cool.
31 unique rooms,
It's in an old mansion.
It is.
Yeah. 1901 it was built or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
Jeez.
I'm trying to wow you.
Yeah, you have wowed me. Well, you had me at hello. The hug you gave me, I will bring that with me.
Okay, good. Okay, so you dabbled in some stuff.
Yeah.
This 25-year non-compete,
Yeah.
you must have, I'm assuming, been pretty far down the road knowing that was expiring. How do you decide you're going to give it another go?
Right. So I left, didn't know what I was going to do. The first thing that was offered to me was by my friend that owned Lord & Taylor at the time. And he said, why don't you do a Just Bobbi shop? We got to get people in the stores. You could do anything you want. And I'm like, great. So I do well with teams. I got a team together.
Well, you met a gal at the Apple store.
Yeah, and I hired her as my assistant.
Because
She was like an Apple genius person.
She was Apple genius. I knew I needed help with my digital. And by the way,
So smart.
she sat there for 2.5 hours. They're usually like, can't help you by.
Yeah.
Helping me figuring out how to get my number away from the corporation and so I could own the same number.
She wouldn't give up.
She wouldn't give up.
Bobby's like, everyone else would have given
And
up.
she didn't know, she never heard of me.
Yeah.
But I offered her the job and she took it. I said, I don't know what we're going to do.
Oh, that's incredible.
So, yeah.
That's Rob back there.
Yeah.
I did someone's podcast. I was like, who's this motherfucker? He is on it. I need this guy.
Oh, right. Oh, I just got his number. First of all, he's from my hometown.
Yeah, Chicago.
Yeah, and I want to build one of these in Montclair.
Oh,
okay.
great.
Yeah, he needs your permission to freelance.
Oh, he's already got it. He's
Oh, he
already
does,
freelancing
okay.
like a son of a gun. So you did the Lord and Taylor thing.
Right.
It was great, and then Lord and Taylor went out of business a year
and
later.
so then we brought it digitally online. We tried to figure stuff out. It wasn't uber successful, but it was fun.
It kept you busy.
Kept me
and-
busy.
yeah.
I learned a lot. And then what was the next thing we did?
When did you start developing the line?
Jones Road.
Well, I got hired to go to India to be the first ever keynote speaker of the Indian makeup
Conference?
conference.
Wow.
Which was amazing experience.
Yeah.
You know, Cody and Pyle were just dating, so trust me, I told every single person that, you know, my son's girlfriend is Indian. Okay. So
You can trust me.
Again, because you do, I think, represent makeup for all
Right.
types of
Yeah.
people. So I'm
Yeah.
not surprised at all that
right.
they asked you.
That was a great experience. And then I got asked to do a master class from Masterclass.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. And I started just kind of being curious. I was using all the natural makeup out there because God forbid I put a chemical.
You weren't using Bobbi Brown at that point.
I know emotionally I couldn't use it.
Yeah.
I
Crazy.
just
Yeah.
didn't want to touch it. I
Yeah.
just wanted no part of it.
Yeah.
You know, stop following the Instagram. I want no part of it.
I
Yeah.
feel you.
And then I didn't find what I wanted out there in the world. So I said, I wonder if I could do better. And I started calling a couple local chemists, like kind of when I started.
Yeah.
And I'd go in there and tell them what I wanted. And then I needed, there's so many things I'm not good at. Like I can't fill out the paperwork that needs to be done. I can't do all that stuff. So I hire people to do what I'm not good at. And I hired this girl to help me conceptualize. And now she's my COO. But she started as like a jack of all trades in product development.
Yeah. Monica was a babysitter for us at one
I
point.
did start
Right.
out as the
Yeah.
babysitter.
we're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
This bitch is smart. What are we going to do here?
But it works. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's smart of us to figure it out.
Yeah, so the balm, which is like one of the most
balm.
successful parts, was
Yeah.
a mistake. Which I
Yeah.
love anything that
Yeah.
starts
Yeah,
as a big
happy
mistake.
accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, it was not what I asked for. When it came, I'll never forget, I opened it up and, I was like, God damn it, that's not what I wanted. But I stuck my finger in anyways. And I went like this with my fingers and I tapped it on. I looked in the mirror. I said, oh my God, it's a miracle. Because you know what? It's moisture. Whenever you're tired, you just take, and I have a hippie stick for you. You just take this balm, put it on, and it just makes everything look better. Because by the way, when people don't look good, it's because they're dehydrated. And when
Okay.
you hydrate yourself, you look better.
Our friend Eric just told us recently that he's never put lotion on his face. We're like, Eric, how
He
on
doesn't
earth?
wash it or put or lotion or do anything on his
And
face.
he looks pretty good.
He looks so.
Imagine
he
what he'd
looks
look like
good.
if he had been moisturizing for the last
I know.
10
We should
years.
get him. We should get him some new products.
This guy, what's his name again?
Rob.
Rob, he looks like a baby.
He's a cherub.
He does not, no, but he's 37 years old. He's got 2 kids and he doesn't have
gorgeous.
any lines or any age.
Genetics.
Genetics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
No, Rob's the cutest guy in Los Feliz. Okay, so the non-compete expires.
Yes.
It's COVID.
It's COVID.
There's a lot happening in the world at the end of
Presidential election is
Oh,
about to happen in a week. And everyone says to me, do not launch this now.
Yeah.
And we went to big PR agencies. Everyone said, don't do it. I didn't hire any of those PR agencies. I hired my neighbor, Lynette, down the street, who now is still with me and I can't live without. She handles all of Jones Road and all of my personal stuff.
Does Cody come in as the head of marketing
no,
initially?
Not then. No. He started, he was doing growth. So he started coming in with growth.
Okay.
When he came in, our business quadrupled only because we did a call with Gary Vaynerchuk and Gary said, go on TikTok now. And
Yeah,
we
so you were
went-
forced to go on TikTok.
We weren't forced. We
You
said, what the
were.
Oh, I was forced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, when someone says this is a really important entrepreneurial thing. When someone says, go hire a team, go hire a person, go do this, go make a thing, I just can't do that. I just do it instantly. So instead of Gary said, go hire a team, go hire an agency, go do this, and Cody just picked up the phone and said, go, Mom. And we put it up, and that's how it started.
And it blew up.
And it blew up.
Yes.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
So year one, you guys had 15 million in revenue.
I think 18 first year.
Okay.
I was hoping to do $1 million.
Incredible.
Wow.
And then year two was
We doubled.
150. No?
No, wait. No. Year one was 18. I don't think we did 150 in year two.
Okay.
No. That's
Must have been
no.
year three.
No, maybe that's year three.
Oh, no, 2024, you're doing 150. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You caught
Last
my
year we
first big
did
mistake.
180 maybe.
Yeah.
And now we're just shy of 200.
Incredible.
So
Industry sources say, because you're not allowed to say.
why aren't you allowed to say?
I don't know. It's not cool. I don't know. Whatever.
It's a bad look.
There's nothing
It's a
cool
bad
about
look,
me.
I guess.
to get acquired in 5 years is pretty miraculous.
Isn't this how it works for everybody?
Exactly. And then you start at the end of 2020, and here we are in 2025, and you now have something that, of
Right.
course, could get acquired for
Right.
an enormous amount again.
How is your confidence then when you're on TikTok,
Yeah.
Jones? It's starting. Are you like, God, I really hope I can do this again?
Well, no. I was never worried about that.
That's
I'm like,
great.
I don't want to look like an idiot. Like, I don't want someone to listen to this podcast and say, God, Bobbi sounds like an asshole. Bobbi sounds like, because, sometimes I'm myself.
Yeah.
And sometimes people think it's the greatest thing. And, mostly people that know me will be like, what did she say?
Well, you've been submersed in beauty for, 45 years now.
Yeah.
1980, you moved to New York.
Right.
I just know that when I'm here in LA, it's everyone's occupation.
Right.
It's you can't go more than a couple days without hearing some tip about how to look better or do something better.
Well, it's all out there on the internet. And, it's crazy. There's so much. I'm very interested in health and wellness.
Yeah.
And the hacks that you could do. And, all these people that are doing all these weird things like peptides. And I'm just like, bring it on. Just show me, tell me. And it's, that. So I don't obsess about like beauty things anymore. Like I know I'm not getting work done on my face. I'm not. I do laser, by the way. I swear by lasers because it doesn't alter my face, but tightens and lifts and things like
Collagen
that.
production.
Yeah, all that stuff.
But in your 30s and 40s,
Yeah.
when you were
Yeah.
surrounded by that,
Oh.
did that inadvertently
Hell
make
yeah.
you incredibly self-conscious about all these?
100%.
Do you have body dysmorphia at all?
Oh, I totally do. I mean,
Yeah.
totally do. There's no question. My friends laugh at me all the time. I'm teeny, but I always think I have to lose weight. And I don't have to lose weight.
right.
But now I'm trying to build muscle.
Yes, which is key.
Which is really important.
Yeah.
So,
So when you were juggling these million things, and that was on the plate, how consuming was
oh
that?
my God, so hard. Do you know what it's like, going to the Met Gala? I know you do.
Yeah.
But as a 5 foot tall someone that,
Jewish girl from
Jewish
Chicago.
girl from Chicago, who usually I'm, behind the scene doing makeup. And once I did someone's makeup, and then I had to go get changed for the Met Ball. That was like the stupidest thing I've ever done.
Do you do your own makeup for those events?
I do. I have someone in my office, my head makeup artist, who does it.
Okay.
And she does some things better than me, like my brows. So I always end up taking my hands and I don't like to look like I have a lot of makeup on.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Do you feel like, oh my God, I'm like the walking face of these brands? Like that's a little stressful.
Look, what I'm selling now is not changing the way you look.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And, like a moment in my life changed me forever. I had a party I think it was for Teenage Beauty years ago. And I asked, you needed a celebrity to show up back then. And, and I asked my friend Lorraine Bracco if she'd come. And she said, I'll do my best to get there. I'm coming back from LA. I'll do my best. Well, the woman shows up. She got off a plane, had not a stitch of makeup on. She walks in, the cameras went crazy. She looks so gorgeous without makeup on.
Yeah.
I like more of a natural. I don't think many makeup artists understand how to use makeup and make it look like you're not wearing it. Like you could put a full foundation, concealer, blush, bronzer, and look like the most glorious part
Not
of
see
yourself.
this huge line of
Authentic.
demarcation.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do strong eyes
Yeah.
and sparkle and do all that, but still there's a glow and a naturalness.
Yeah. You can tell when somebody really knows what they're doing and when they don't. Like if you've had your makeup done a lot, you can tell. Like, oh, this looks cookie cutter.
Right.
Versus this looks
Yeah.
like me.
Right. But also not everyone likes it's my beauty aesthetic. And, there's a lot of celebrities and makeup artists have a different aesthetic of
Yeah.
what it should be. It's just my aesthetic.
Yeah. But it's been working for a long time.
Now, I have many times been standing somewhere and thought, I can't believe being funny brought me here. Like being funny got me kicked out of class and in the principal's office nonstop. And then I'll be standing somewhere spectacular. And I'm like, I can't believe this thing brought me to this place.
Do you still feel like that sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. Like we've interviewed Bill Gates a lot. He happens to love us. He took us to India for a week, and we're sitting on his plane flying in India. And I'm like, I'm not in venture capital. I'm not a tech person.
Wow.
I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
And somehow that brought me to this airplane in India.
But
Is
you're
nuts.
not known as a comedian.
Initially,
Okay, but that's not how people know you.
not now since this
Right.
show.
Now
yeah,
you've
yeah,
got,
yeah.
well, yeah. And even after that, you're an actor.
Yes, yeah.
An actor, and now you're,
God knows what it is.
God knows, but it's working, whatever it is. I was just on his daughter's podcast.
Oh, Phoebe.
She's fantastic. I use this, this word normal, real. Like it's rare, but I appreciate all the moments.
But the White House, doing
The
makeup
White
took you to
House.
the White House.
Yeah, I mean that. Like I was in the motorcade. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the motorcade, and some guy turns to me, he says, "Who are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm a makeup artist." And he's like, "You're a makeup artist?" I said, "Yeah, I did. Blah blah blah." And I said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm Leon Panetta." I'm like, "Oh, okay, the Secretary of Defense." And I'm like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Secretary of Agriculture." I'm like, "Can you fix our crops?"
Oh my God. Yeah. You're like, how am I here right now?
There was a moment where we were at this table in India, and it was the Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Defense, Bill Gates, blah, blah, and everyone had name placards. Monica's and I said podcasters, and it was just like, this feels so stupid.
And they were like brainstorming on how to like
fix the world.
and we're just sitting there like totally quiet.
Did you not say anything?
No, we couldn't
We had nothing to add to
contribute. Yeah. And at one point they were like going around introducing themselves. I was like, oh my God, what's gonna happen when they
got
get to
this.
us? But they got skipped.
Yeah,
Thank God.
I was
Thank
on the
goodness.
U.S. Trade Commission. I had to do that too, and it was like
scary.
weird.
Yeah.
And I just looked up and I looked for Papa Sam. Papa, do you believe that I'm sitting here doing this?
Right? I know, that's so special.
But it's look, no matter what, I don't take it lightly. Like being a makeup artist has gotten me some interesting, like I just had something at Paul McCartney's house because we saw a movie. And I'm like, my husband and I walked out and we looked at each other, we're like, love this life.
Doing makeup
Yes.
brought me to this place.
Love this life. And then, guess what I did? I went home and I did the laundry and I put away the dishes and I cleaned up and I do what I normally
Went back
do.
to your regular
I went
life.
back to my old self.
Yeah, balancing both. That's
Okay, now here's the tough
key.
part.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this interview with you, and it is taking place in one of your brick and mortar stores in presumably New York. And you're being interviewed, but you are so distracted with the fact that you're noticing on the wall there's this photo that's been mounted to the wall, and it's enormous. And you notice there's a tiny scratch in the photo on the neck. You're like, okay, Aaron, you're yelling, Aaron, I want to go. We're on film, so Aaron will know what to be doing. Talking. He's like, this sign should be bigger. Well, Aaron, so. You have to be a perfectionist.
I am.
To build something in the way you did.
But I'm also not a micromanager. I'm a multitasker.
Right.
So I knew that once I walked off that set, I would not remember to tell Aaron.
It's now or never.
Yeah.
It's now or never.
Yeah.
So
I get that, but you are a perfectionist.
Right.
Again, I believe you have to be.
yeah, I am.
But to work for you, I would imagine it's hard to work for a perfectionist because I would imagine
Yeah, if
you
you
might feel
suck.
like no matter what I do, she'll find something wrong
No. But
with
by
it.
the way, the people that work really well with me, like Erin, who literally went to high school with my youngest son, who's, I call her my baby creative director because I think she's finally 27.
Okay.
Is phenomenal. And I can say, Erin, yuck, what happened to that? And she'd tell me. Or Erin, she goes, yeah, I know they wanted that, but I'm like, I don't want that. Could you
Make it
please
go
fix
away.
it?
Yeah.
Could you make it go away?
Yeah.
Erin, that wrinkle under my, left armpit, can you get rid of it?
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
she's my guy. Like you could say anything to each other. You have each other's back.
I'm a huge perfectionist as well, and I edit the show, and it's the same thing. I think the same thing. I'm like because I'm giving notes, and I'm like they hate me. Like they definitely hate me because I'm giving these like half-second
Right,
notes.
yeah.
Like that needs to come out because to me,
Yeah.
It's everything,
Right,
actually.
of
It makes a
course.
huge
Oh, yes.
difference.
I agree with it. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, how does one manage the tension
Right.
of having to work that way and knowing that I'll give you an example. Bill Gates, he said there were many years where I came in and I leveled everyone and told them how to be. And I ultimately had to step back and go, like, what is the net win? Do I leave that meeting and everyone
Right.
feels defeated and they no
Right.
longer
Yeah.
feel passionate
Right.
about working?
Yeah.
So learning to curb, even if the end goal is I want this thing to be great,
Right.
recognizing that might not be
Right.
the road
Yeah.
to get to greatness.
Well, first of all, having the right people on the team. You know, I've got my retail team, my creative team, my marketing team, my PR team, whatever. My PD team, the product development, which is the most important. They know me and they know, and I'm like, hey, guys, and they're like, you're right. And I'm like, thank you guys so much for working on this. I always make sure I thank them. And by the way, they also know that there's times where I am like so insanely busy that I don't have a second for anything, or I haven't slept, or I have to do this. They can't believe it. And they're like, I know you only have a second, just please. But it's got to be the right, and they've got to be passionate.
Yes.
And I have to be passionate about them.
yeah.
Does the perfectionism bleed into your personal life? Because I have found this to be a real
Yes.
problem. And I've been like talking
Yes.
to my therapist about
Okay.
this a lot lately because
Okay.
I've had multiple complaints, some from Dax, some from other people that are like, I don't want to be picked at in life. Like, here is a different thing. This
The
is my
conversation
job.
is like, I want you to do exactly what we do on the show, and I want you to kill me. And then when we're having dinner on vacation, that's what I
he doesn't
kinda
want
said.
me to
Edit me in real life.
Yes. And other people
Yeah.
have said this to me too. Like, it's not just him. And I don't want to be the type of person that sees everything that's wrong or is like critical, but it is what I do here, and it's really hard
Right.
to shut it
Yeah.
off in life.
I mean, I think the good thing is that we're always evolving, and the best people are the ones that want to be better versions of themselves. I've had to let go of a lot of things, and I've had to learn how to tell people I don't like things in a very different way than I used to.
Yeah.
So I've evolved. I've worked really hard, especially with my son and my daughter-in-law, because I want to see the grandkids, number
Yeah.
one. But also, we all want the same thing, but sometimes how you get there is tough.
It's hard.
It is. It's really hard. And relationships are hard. Mm-hmm. Do you know how many times Steven will say to me, I don't work for you? Right? I mean, don't come and bounce orders, because I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah,
used to
yeah.
saying, do this, I need this, I
Yeah.
need this. And,
I've said that to my wife.
It's
right.
hard
but
to
I'm like,
shut
okay.
off.
And no, it is hard.
Yeah.
And also, I'm always like, I'm anxious. All right. I was
Yeah.
gonna say I'm not an anxious person, but I am anxious. I want things done, and I'm always worried I'm gonna forget something.
Yeah.
I'm always worried, and I take on everything. I take on
Yeah.
everything because I care about everything.
Yeah,
And I
same.
care about my house. Like, I walk in my house and I re-merchandise things. I move books around, or I make sure the bar looks
Re-merchandise.
good. I
Yes.
do. It's my thing.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
that too. You just have to make
Yeah.
everything look perfect.
You'd feel so comfortable in Monica's apartment.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Is it nice? Yeah.
Everything. And
It
there's
is
a lot
really
of
nice.
re-merchandising.
Yeah.
Right?
Anytime I feel a little bit out of control, I will re-merchandise. I just look around. I'm like, okay, how can I reposition this so
To
that I
adjust my
feel
internal feelings.
You're
Yes.
gonna have to send me your cell phone, because I find these things on Instagram that leads me to someone's organization wish list. These organizers, and all of a sudden I'm buying organizers, individual little baggies for cords. I mean, I'm like a
Yes.
nutcase, because it does make me feel calm
Yes.
to open a drawer. Because yes, there is chaos.
Yeah.
There's chaos on the news. There's chaos everywhere.
Mostly there's chaos up here.
There is chaos up there. Yeah, there is.
The mind's not a friendly place.
Right, but I'm never going to change. I'm
Yeah.
not going to meditate.
Right.
Look
Yeah.
me in the eye. I'm not going to meditate.
Don't make
I'm
me.
not going to.
Yeah, you just have to find what works for you. I
You
guess.
do.
Yeah.
And not everything works.
Well,
Yeah.
Bobbi, I adore you.
Aw.
I do. I had so much fun sitting next to you. You really sparked the night up. There was a
thank
lot of
you.
different people there.
It was very eclectic.
It was. All right. Well, I hope I sit next to you again someday.
I hope so
soon.
too. And I hope it's not like one of those things, and I hope it's just at dinner one night. So,
Well, I love your books, Still
Thank
Bobbi.
you.
Please check it
same.
out. And again, I hope you'll come back and we'll get to talk to you again.
thank you.
So fun.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
Stay tuned for the fact check. It's where the party's at.
Hello. Hello. Oh, we haven't talked. That's how Bob Durst talked, remember? We haven't talked like him in a while. Hello. Hi, Ann. It's Bob. I'm in prison. How much is the house worth in Long Island? Oh, wow. 100 million?
Even he found love again.
He was irresistible. He had lots of lovers.
You loved him.
I wanted to be one of his
You wanted to
lovers.
date him.
He passed, right? Did he
I think he
die in
passed,
prison?
yeah.
I'll never get to nurture him back to sanity.
You won't.
How you doing? Really great blue color. Really great sweater.
Thank you. Yes, it's a new sweater.
I feel like I would look good in that for the
You
eye
would.
reason.
You would. It would make
Yeah.
your eyes pop. I also bought it in purple today because I liked it so much putting it on. I was like, I want another color.
Okay,
And
sure.
So I bought it in purple too.
Did we discuss the fact that many people collected the Got Milk ads?
See, I knew it.
So
It was fun.
I guess it's a double-edged sword. It's good news and bad news because I was like, wow, I found the criteria for who to hire.
Right.
Like I could almost start my own hiring service and I just ask the applicants one question. I guarantee you I'm a phenomenal coworker. So in some sense, I'm like, well, maybe I'm not being discerning enough because it turns out a lot of people, but also good news, maybe there's a lot of great folks out there to
There are.
work with.
Maybe you're right because it's hard to collect them. Like you really have to be on the lookout. You have to be on the prowl. Keep your eyes wide open.
I have such a vague memory. These were like they'd have a celebrity in a normal magazine, and they'd be standing. They'd hold a glass of milk. Am I thinking of the right
They
thing?
would have a milk mustache.
A milk stash.
And sometimes they'd be holding it, but not always. And in different scenarios, like there's one with Jennifer Love Hewitt. She's in a kitchen, and I think she's wearing like a flannel shirt, I think, and the kitchen's messy.
But she's got milk.
She's got milk, and well, does she? Because it's a question mark. Got milk?
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, it was just really.
It was a really
Great.
celebrity-driven campaign.
Yeah,
Is that what
it
made
was
it
all
so
celebrities.
collectible?
There she is.
Hey,
Hey, I really nailed it, didn't I?
You fucking you did. Yeah, and the kitchen's a fucking mess.
Yeah, it's a mess because she's made eggs and pancakes.
But somehow she made perfect pancakes, but she has no regard for anything else. Like the way she mixed the batter, it's
That's
all over the
right.
sides. Yet she did pour them perfectly.
Do you have an affinity for her because of Party of Five?
I did like her on Party of Five, but I was a little older,
Got it.
and Nev was on the show.
I know. Both are great.
Yeah.
I loved her, though.
I mean,
loved
she
Jennifer
started
Love
as
Hewitt.
kind of a kid.
Yeah, she was a kid
And then
on the
I
show.
did, and in my defense, I was 18 when I was saying this. I did think, well, she is becoming hot. Like it is weird when these kids on shows become hot.
Sure.
Does that happen with the boys? Like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Tam O'Shanters.
Let's go with classic JTT.
JTT, do you know I used him in Empire at Amy's birthday?
You did?
I did.
Did you get caught?
It took forever. I was one of the last people. That's a good one, right, for a mislead? Because
That's a
I
good
think
one.
most people would think wouldn't even know that.
Yeah, that's right.
There.
Yeah.
Oh, he had one?
Of course he had one. I think I
Oh,
have
so it's
him.
mostly all youth?
No,
Oh,
there's
some oldies in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oldies
We've got
with goodies.
oldies and
Any
goodies
baddies?
and-
These are all goodies.
Oh, no, there's baddies.
Oh, there are.
Yeah, those are the hard ones to find.
Speaking of which,
But
I have started the Charlie Sheen Netflix doc.
how is it?
Fucking awesome.
Oh, great.
It's so good.
This is a Easter egg.
It's so good.
I'm excited.
And do you know what I didn't know? I mean, I was young enough to have been a audience goer when he broke out with like Platoon and Wall Street. So I remember like the meteoric rise, but it's not like you knew a ton about him back then. There was no way to. There wasn't social media, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I had no idea. He and Nick Cage were like inseparable best friends.
Oh, wow. Did they have a falling out?
I doubt it. The way he's chatting about, he just clearly loves them to death still.
Oh, wow.
But that famous Letterman story that Nick Cage tells, where he was on a flight to San Francisco and he got a hold of the intercom system and
Yes.
he said, "This is your pilot speaking. I'm feeling unwell and I'm losing control of the aircraft.
Yeah.
He was with Charlie. The two of them were going on
That
that trip,
adds
and
up.
Charlie had an ounce of cocaine taped to his ankle. And when they got off the plane, the police were there.
Oh my God. How do you get there? Oh, security was different then.
Well, you could still go through with the cocaine around your ankle as long as they didn't pat you down. It wouldn't set off a detector or anything.
Not now, though.
Yeah. I flew with cocaine post 9/11.
What?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Dax.
One, I just told this story the other day. I'm sorry, but we made it. Yeah, I had brought, I had gone out and I was during Idiocracy. I had done a table read. I knew I was going to get sober for the movie, but I had like a week before the table read and the filming starting. So it's like I went to the table read.
Oh my God, guess what?
What?
It's 9/11.
I know.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's crazy.
Don't say you
Crazy.
You didn't know.
I didn't know it was 9/11
But
because
you
I
didn't know
journal.
we were doing.
I didn't know it was such a ding ding ding.
Okay, great. Okay, so it's for Idiocracy.
Yeah, so I went to like down there for a table read and a fitting, and it went well. Like I did good in the table read, so I was feeling great.
Oh gosh, so you had
So
to
I went
reward
out.
yourself.
I went out and on 6th Street, and before you know it, I've got coke, and I meet someone, and I have a whole night, and then now it's morning time, and it's time to go to the
And you
airport.
dutied in your bed.
I didn't do any duty. I was very clean, but I had to then go get on an airplane, and I hadn't slept.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I gotta bring this through security with me because I'm gonna crash. Like I'm gonna have the most miserable flight of my life. I'm starting to come down. I don't bore you with the addict's dilemma, but suffice to say, I took it through security and I went to a bar and I started getting kind of paranoid while I was at the
Yeah.
bar having a Jack and Diet because obvious reasons. And I'm like, I'm about to start a movie. What if I got arrested? This could derail everything. I just did so good yesterday. No, I'm ruining.
Oh my God.
So my solution was I went to the bathroom. I went to the handicap stall and there was a huge toilet paper dispenser with like the double rolls. And I put my hand way up there and there was like a little shelf up in there. So I put my I did a bunch and then I put my bag of Coke up in this dispenser. And then I went back to the bar and had another Jack and Diet. And after that one, I'm like, oh, I'd like a bump. So I go back to the handicap bathroom. And Monica, I put my hand, I'm on down in the thing and I'm fishing around inside this toilet paper dispenser. And I'm like, oh, fuck, it's not here. And then I look and it's not fallen anywhere. And in my brain, which has now been up for, day and a half, 2 days.
Fingerprints.
It's more. I go, oh, fuck. Someone found it.
Yeah.
Like they pulled the toilet paper. They found it. They alerted the authorities.
Yes.
The authorities have been waiting to see who's going to go into the handicap stall. So I sat in this handicap stall 1,000% convinced that there were cops
Out there.
in the bathroom waiting for me. And I was just like, what do we do? What's our game plan? We don't have any on us. But they know because they know. And eventually I was like, I got to face the music. And then I walk, there's nobody. There's nobody there. Who knows where that went? Somebody presumably got a
found
free bag.
But also, so wild that somebody would think to go. Maybe it was probably someone cleaning the bathroom who was replacing the toilet paper and found it. I hope. I hope people
Or they
aren't just
sometimes you give those things a good yank or maybe they
Right.
rattled it enough that it fell out. And then maybe the other guy was a playboy and he was like, hey, look at this free
a
present
lot
fell
of
from the
things
skies.
have to be coming together for that. Because if I yanked on a toilet paper and Coke fell down,
Yeah, you'd scream.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'd be like, snakes. But in your mind at that time, because I already know I know I'm a bad boy. I should not be doing this. I should be being sober for this movie. I'm also supposed to be gaining a lot of weight, and I haven't now eaten in 36 hours, but that's a side note. But the notion that if a bag of Coke is found, that they will now initiate a sting operation
Yeah.
to see who's
That's
coming
how
back.
I
That would
feel.
that would never happen.
don't say never. Never say never. I would assume, they would fingerprint this.
Uh-huh.
And they would see
my
who
fingerprints
came.
were all over.
I know.
They were grubby little fingerprints.
Who came through the airport around what time? Feel like they could find you.
I even think I was like, oh my God, because I'm using a key. I
What
don't know
do
if
you
you
mean?
know that. Like I'm dipping my key in the bag and doing key bumps. That's how
Why?
I'm getting it in my body. Well, I got to get it out of this bag and into my nasal passage.
Why can't you just use your finger?
Like stick my finger in, then put my finger on my nose?
That's weirder than putting it on
You can make a little pile, and then you
Oh.
can.
I can't
snort
believe
it.
you just acted like what I was saying was crazy.
Well, if you ever tried to do coke with your finger, you'd find out that
Well,
was
that's
a
why
crazy
people have
plan.
long nails.
Yeah, that's why weirdos have long coke nails. But I didn't have a coke nail because
Okay.
I was a responsible person.
Oh yeah, you were so responsible.
But then I was like, oh, I got to get all the coke off my key. Like my key probably would light up like a Christmas tree if they put a whatever magic coke wand in my mind they had.
Right.
So then I was like sucking on the key to get every remnant off.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh my God. Addicts are so
We do a lot of weird. We end up doing
dirty.
a lot of weird stuff. Yeah.
Like now the idea of putting a key in your mouth, doesn't that gross you out?
Absolutely.
Like the amount of germs, that's like one of the worst things you can put in your mouth.
Yeah, and it just is metal.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's disgusting. But I had to get rid of the evidence.
Did you think about swallowing the key?
About key stirring the key.
Whoa.
Key stirring the key.
Key stirring.
Anyways, got milk ads. A lot of people collected them.
I think a lot of the people who've collected Got Milk keys have never found themselves in the situation you have. They're busy. They're at the newsstand
Yeah.
buying up all the magazines so that on the flight they can look each one very carefully, page by page, see if you found
Were you
yourself
making
looking.
your mom take you to newsstands to further your collection? It sounds like something a task you would put on her plate.
I don't know. She wouldn't have done. No.
No?
She doesn't have time for that.
But you were like, we got to go camp out for this book. You did a lot of these little projects,
By
right?
then I was old. Like I would like go with friends. I was old enough.
Okay.
So yeah, if we were at the airport or at the grocery store, yes, I probably would have asked.
Yeah. Can we buy these 6 magazines?
Can I please buy all of these? And then I think I had some subscriptions. Like I had probably like teen.
Did you earn money as a kid? Like, did you?
Yeah, I had allowance.
You had an allowance?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a little around town cashish.
Yeah. I mean, I had so many ads.
So many. You did.
Yeah, I had so many. They were great. The best ones were the casts. They would do like a full
Oh,
cast.
did Friends ever got milk?
Well, Jen Ann, I think, had one.
Okay.
Maybe her and Courtney and Lisa. Like there was like a
Fun.
few.
Yeah.
I have it.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
When they pitched the idea originally, do you think people were like, so we're going to coat the top of their lip
They're gonna paint
with white cream?
Yeah, I think they probably
Was
painted it.
anyone like,
This is gross.
this might look...
Sexual. There it is.
Oh,
Yes, I
yeah.
have
That looks
that
like they
one.
just left an orgy.
No,
Like that
don't
was
you
my fear.
Dare,
That was my
don't
fear.
you dare dirty this up, you dirty boy.
My God, everyone is so young.
I know. Yeah,
They
Rob
want
put up a picture of Jen
Jennifer
Ann
Aniston
and
looks-
Lisa Kudrow.
She looks 19.
They were young. They were young back then.
Remember, Lisa said she felt like the old lady.
Yeah, look how
Yeah,
cute
and
she
was
is.
so young and cute.
Oh, beautiful girls. Speaking of semen,
Yeah, oh, sure. Yeah.
so I'm not gonna out this brand. I've been trying some new makeup foundations.
Yeah.
I'm loving all of them. Loving all the colors.
Yeah.
And the textures and stuff, but I'm playing with a lot of them, so I don't want people to try to figure out which one this is, okay?
Right.
Today I put
It was
makeup
in
on.
your lab.
I put makeup on. I walked outside and I was like, it smells funny out here.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, oh, maybe it's like Bradford pear season.
Uh-huh.
You know, classically the Bradford pear
Smells like a rotting corpse.
semen
Oh, semen.
/ period
Oh.
/ death. So I was like, God, are we there? Like, ugh, stinky. And then
Hold on. What a combo of words next to each other. Like if there was a perfume called semen period. I mean, wow.
I know.
I wonder if there was ever a punk band named Semen Period, or
Well, Guar
Death
could get on
metal.
it. It seems like something they would like.
if you were a horned, pig-faced goblin.
That's right. Yeah. It's probably like one of the gifts God gave humans that, you know, the person who has a period also doesn't release semen so those never really have to mix.
Oh, right.
Although they could mix in a sexual experience.
Sure, ideally.
Okay, now I'm walking to the car and I'm like, and then I have this realization.
Your foundation.
Yes. Do you smell it?
God, no.
You can't smell it from there?
20 feet away, your face.
You
still smell it.
Yeah.
That would be a bummer for me if I had a smell on my face I couldn't get rid of.
And I like this foundation. There's many that have sunscreens built in.
Uh-huh.
This is one of those.
Okay.
And I think it might be part of the ish.
The sunscreen?
Yeah, part of what's adding to the smell.
Oh. Isn't sunscreen odorless?
No.
No? I mean, they put that yummy coconut flavor in like copper tone or
yeah, they add that.
the fun ones.
But
It smells like vacation.
Even regular like SPF generally, sunscreen has a smell, you know it. It doesn't smell like semen, I'll say that.
No.
But I think maybe the mix of ingredients has caused a semen-like smell.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
It's a bummer that semen smells the way.
It's a bummer that bodies smell the way they do. We just like, it's gross. We have all these smells.
Okay, great. I knew there was something we're supposed to be talking about, and I just remembered.
Okay.
So you and I were in a competition this week.
Yeah, we were.
We went on Hot Ones Versus.
Yes, me and you did.
Yes, and we ate 5 chicken wings.
Hot Ones Versus is a spinoff of Hot Ones. It's more of a competition show, so it was me versus you.
That's right. And on Hot Ones, if people haven't watched that, you get interviewed by Sean Evans. He asks you questions as you're eating hot wings, and they're getting progressively hotter.
Yes.
And the last one is generally brutal.
Yeah.
It takes people out.
Yeah.
Even number 7 starts taking people out.
Yeah.
Well, this show it's only number 10.
Yeah.
Every wing has the hottest of the hot.
It was so...
It's smart.
It is... Well, look, I was so... like really truly nervous to do this show. And you notoriously went on original Hot Ones. You did great on Hot Ones, so much so that you asked for another of the last wing. You threw a whole bunch of hots.
They put me in the Ring of
hot-
Fire. I don't know if that's what it's called. If it's not, they should call it that. But it was like
Yes.
kind of a champion circle of people who took the heat the best.
Yeah, you did great.
It's one of my identity markers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I knew this. And so I was also like, well, fuck. Like,
It's like you and I playing one-on-one basketball. It's like, why is this the versus?
exactly.
Yeah.
So I will spoil a little bit that you ate first.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it was really hot for you.
Well, I started salivating quite a bit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I started to really panic. Cause
When you saw that it was affecting me.
Yes, because
That's
you
very-
apparently can eat 2 of the last one and you were struggling. So then I was really starting to panic. Anyway, it was really fun. You guys will have to tune in.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
And you thought you were going to fall over a lot, which
Yeah,
I think
I
is
did.
really funny.
I didn't feel steady.
No, I definitely got concerned and I didn't vocalize it because I thought, well, that'll only compound it.
Mm-hmm.
But I really started thinking after you had a good amount of fire in you and you were feeling like you were going to fall over, I was like, is a panic attack on the table?
Right. And it's always on the table.
Yeah. Just only because of the soul cycle stuff I know.
Right. And you weren't worried about a seizure.
Not at all.
Okay.
I don't think that. I don't think that would trigger a seizure for what, right or wrong. I just don't think that.
Yeah.
But once you were getting wobbly, and I started thinking, like, oh man, like if she has a panic attack, how do I?
What would you do?
How do I help her?
Great question.
And it's probably not saying you're imagining this. It's not going to be like no one's ever died from this. You can't die. No one's ever been hurt. And then I'm like, well, it's probably not going to be like, it's probably got to be more like acknowledge. Yeah, you are getting. I don't know. I don't know how you get someone out of a panic attack.
I mean, this
put my wallet in your mouth.
This harkens back to when I was having a panic attack during shrooms.
Oh, Would you call that a panic attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so we did all right.
In its truest sense. Like, I was like, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
That was a kind of a different panic attack. Normally my panic attacks, like, I feel like I'm going to pass. I start like kind of disassociating. But this was, I couldn't breathe,
Right.
which is sort of a common panic attack.
Yeah.
And I think you said no one's ever stopped breathing from
Mushrooms.
shrooms.
Yeah.
Which did work, or I think. I
Yeah.
mean, I eventually was able to breathe.
I think there were a bunch of baby steps. That was one of them.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that, I guess, is a good tactic.
Okay, I'll
on
stick with it.
me.
Yeah.
On me, anyway.
So, but what's funny is it just so happened to fall on the same day. I was taking Nate, Eric, and Charlie to the Dodgers game.
Yes, that night.
And we go primarily because my agency has great seats in what is called the Dugout Club.
Yeah.
And I am not going to act like I am into baseball at all. I don't know a thing about it. I barely, it's a great place to go have a great chat with the boys
It's
and
so
scream a bit.
fun.
It's so fun. But
Yeah.
I don't know who's leading or if the
Right.
team's good. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I go because there is an all-you-can-eat bar in the Dugout Club, and it is premium. They had a pot roast, Monica.
Oh, wow.
I love a pot roast. I had it at Dollywood, and then I just had it here.
Yeah.
I want more pot roasts in my life.
Okay, my mom loves to make a pot roast.
Tell her to make me one
I
the next time
will.
she's visiting.
Okay.
All right. They had a beautiful hot honey fried chicken.
Mm.
So the whole game plan with the boys, and it's all talked about way before. It's like, hey, heads up, everybody, don't eat today.
Yes.
And so really, I had in my mind, I hadn't eaten. I had an oatmeal in the morning at like 7
so you
a.m.
did- Okay, so you ditched the plan already. You ate.
I ate because we had to eat those wings, but it wasn't like I was like, I'm not going to eat lunch. I'm not going to whatever.
Right.
I'm going to eat 7,000 calories in about 45 minutes once we get to this thing. And also I didn't want to betray the pack.
Mm-hmm.
So we arrive, and I said to everyone, like, what is it? Charlie's like, I've only had a protein shake today. And we're like, good job. And then everyone's going their thing, and I'm like, I just had oatmeal. I don't know why. I
Oh.
forgot.
Well, okay, I know why you forgot. You don't feel like you're eating.
No, it wasn't a meal. Like yeah. So I forgot I had that.
Yes.
Then we go to the thing, and that's really fun, and we go hard, and I eat so much. I even have a sundae. Oh, this was a total hack. If anyone's ever goes to the Dugout Club, they had fried plantains,
Oh.
but they're on the hot bar. They're on the other side of the thing. And then on the far end of the place, there's a soft serve machine and like some toppings.
Yeah.
So I made my soft serve, and I was like, oh, fuck, fried plantains on there. That's like a banana split, but fried. Pop those in there. It was heaven. We all ate so much. We had so much fun. I made a good joke that I thought of your brother during,
Oh.
because your brother was Kooky Jeps or
No, Mookie Betts.
well, that's the actual guy.
Jukey Betts.
Jukey Betts. He had or has a hat company in reference
Yeah,
to
but
Mookie.
that's actually just Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts is on the Dodgers, and all these guys have the best asses. And we're directly behind home plate where they
Oh.
warm up.
Ooh, did you make fart noises?
No, but I did heckle him.
Oh, great.
It was Mookie Betts, and he was like 8 feet away, and I had a gaggle of like 60-year-old women in front of me, which was great. And then he's up there kind of just warming up, and he's so close, and I go, Mookie Betts, more like Mookie Buns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The ladies loved it. It's a great compliment to him.
Sure.
I think it put a spring
Unless
in his
he's-
step. He had a dynamite night.
Did he?
He knocked some homies.
Okay, but maybe he was so insecure. Maybe he has an insecurity about his big butt.
No
And
way.
then
When
he
you
was
got
like-
those juicy,
Jukey Betts.
juicy bets.
But maybe he was like, all anyone thinks about is my butt. And no one recognizes me for the athlete that I am.
I mean, that's a sentence that makes sense. But there's no way anyone hates having a great ass. Maybe because I was denied a great ass.
Exactly. So you
Maybe-
might not know.
Right. But I'm pretty sure everyone would like to know they have a great ass.
Okay, great.
So that was a blast. Yelling Mookie Buns, all the stuff. It's so fun. Go home. Next morning, I'm like, I want to check in with the guys. Because again, we all ate probably 10,000 calories.
Woo!
And so I'm like,
But you felt fine?
no.
Oh.
Midway through, I kept thinking, am I going to have Hannes?
Right.
But I was confused because I had literally forgot we had eaten all these insanely hot wings.
Yes.
So they were in my intestines.
Making their way through.
Yes, and you can feel the heat the whole time. And it felt like squirrels fighting. And I thought, oh, that's Hannes coming. So I was totally off base. And I
Yeah.
kept telling the guys, like, oh, I might have Hannes.
Yeah.
But anyways, the next morning I check in with the guys. I'm like, anyone have Hannes? It took me 2 trips, but I got there. And then immediately Nate's like, I knew it was the pot roast. I didn't touch that pot roast and I feel great, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I realized, and then I write, oh yeah, I also had 5 hot wings at maximum temperature.
Hot
and
wings
everyone's
is-
like, pretty relevant detail to leave out. I was like fishing to see if everyone got Hannes from this
Yeah,
experience.
you thought like maybe it was food poisoning.
or just, I would like to know if everyone else had Hannes. But
Okay.
it was the wings.
So it was definitely the wings. Also, food poisoning is last on the list. Like,
I didn't think I had food poisoning.
okay. Because like
I just thought
Hannes-
maybe a bad combination, like dairy, the plantains,
Yeah,
the
no,
pot
just
roast.
the amount you ate.
The amount,
Sometimes
maybe-
the amount is just enough to
Yeah.
create a tornado.
Yes. They just don't mix well.
I thought I was gonna have Hannes, but I didn't.
You did not.
Which was surprising.
Are you sure?
Well, no, I'm sure.
Okay.
But I did have an interesting movement.
Okay, great. This is basically that long lead up was to find out what happened for you the next morning.
Yeah, well, no, that night.
Oh, that night.
I have a fast acting system.
Fast acting to acting.
In fact, I was a little nervous during eating.
You even said you might Tonka.
Yeah, I could Tonka there or on the way home.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I wasn't. And I too kind of forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I first got home, I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to poop.
Yeah.
And but then I didn't. And I think that was, as you said, the squirrels.
Yeah, the squirrels fighting.
Yeah, they were fighting.
Like
and
the way
then-
they run around the branches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to come out. They didn't want to come
No, they're
down
having
the
a-
tree.
They're
They
having a
just wanted
blast.
to play.
Yeah, they love playing.
So then I forgot. I had wine with a friend.
Yeah.
I was out and about. And then, then that night I was like, oh God, I feel so full. But why do I feel so full? I didn't eat today.
Yeah. Great. You forgot too.
I also kind of forgot, but then I was like, oh God, yeah, it's the wings.
It's the fiery
And then I
wings.
had an interesting movement. It wasn't
Did you feel
Hannes.
heat? Did you feel heat when it passed through?
That's a good. I didn't feel heat, but I felt pain.
Pain. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt painful. It felt as if it was Hannes, but then when I looked, it wasn't,
Right.
which was interesting.
I had pain, but I didn't have burning.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a blessing. Because I have had burning once.
Right.
And that was that Carolina Reaper chocolate.
I don't want that.
You can't do it. No. You thought you were gonna fall over on those wings.
It's funny though because last night, the girls we went to a incredible Thai restaurant, so good. And one of the dishes we got was this papaya salad. It was incredible. It was spicy. And one of the girls was like eating it and she was like, oh my God, like it was like so spicy for her.
Okay.
And I thought, how are people doing hot ones? Like a lot of people I think are like our friend Laura, who could like barely eat this papaya salad.
Yeah.
How, like on the scale compared to what we had to eat, it was nothing.
Right. Yeah, she would be in big trouble.
She'd be dead. Has anyone died on it?
No, people like get the burps and they can't answer the question, and I'm doing. But that's the appeal of the show is people
Right.
lose their shit.
You know what was weird? You didn't drink any milk.
I didn't. No.
I thought that was so weird.
Yeah, I just was imagine putting dairy on top of that. It just felt like not the combo I wanted.
It really helped.
It did.
Yeah, I
And
drank
then you also
so much milk.
brought a big jar of honey with you. And then when we got in the truck, you had like a humongous scoop of honey.
I brought a bottle of honey and a spoon in a Ziploc bag because I was
Yeah.
told that honey helps. So the last one you eat, you add all this extra hot sauce to. So that one is
Nuclear.
it is nuclear. Like my lips were burning for 5 hours.
Yeah, I touched my penis and testicles,
Oh.
and I had washed my hands before I peed. So I thought it was off my fingers, and I had quite a bit of discomfort on my penis and everywhere I touched
Owie.
south of my belt
Wow.
for a while.
Yeah.
Then I went in the sauna later
Ah.
before the game,
Yeah.
and it reignited all the pain.
Oh wow.
Everything caught back on fire.
Interesting.
And then somehow I forgot I had done that. A half hour later, I was at the game.
With our brains.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Check that out in December or next year or whenever it comes out.
Yeah, it's coming out in a long time, but it was really fun.
Yeah, I liked that. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nice switch up.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Want to do some facts?
Yeah, let's do some facts.
Okay.
Okay, facts for Bobbi Brown.
Oh, Bobbi Brown.
Legend.
I like him spunky.
Yeah, she's so cool.
Is spunky still a positive? I hope so.
Think so.
I like it.
I think so, yeah.
I like if someone calls me spunky. Do you like to be called spunky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm spunky.
Is pluck the other? It's like the more old-fashioned English.
Yeah, pluck is a...
She's got a lot of pluck.
Yeah, that one sounds worse.
It does. Yeah. You'd rather be known for being spunky.
Yeah. Punky Brewster.
Spunky Brewster.
Okay, Bobbi. So Bobbi is a hero and a legend.
She's a beast.
Yeah. She brought up, the subject of data and data came up again. Both are correct. Both are acceptable. Data is generally preferred in British English, while both data and data are used in American English.
I also think the robot on Star Trek was named Data.
Okay.
For whatever that's worth.
It says data is more common in technical contexts.
Oh,
which is the opposite of
what I said.
Yeah, opposite of what I would have thought too. So
Okay.
there we go.
Take your pick.
Take your pick.
This is like people really hate this word, but it's in the dictionary.
What word?
Fuck.
Oh, moist?
No. It's like, irregardless.
Oh.
People hate irregardless.
I don't like it.
And when I write it, they'll go, that's not a word. And I'm like, and then I say, it's in the dictionary.
Which
I'm like,
dictionary?
swear, all
though?
dictionaries.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it in like a new dictionary? Like they added it for people like you?
I don't know, but it is. If it's in the dictionary, I can play it in Scrabble. I can use it in my.
But isn't like dope or whatever that like Simpsons word in the dictionary?
Is it DOH?
I think it is.
I don't know. But irregardless, solid word. It's there for good.
Okay, well, you have the right to use whatever word you want.
Yeah.
I will not be using irregardless. I'm in the camp that is
It's a big-
double negative. It's not good.
It's a big trigger for people.
Yeah.
Big trigger.
It's not like what's worse than that for me is what's worse. There's one that's worse.
That's just blatantly misused.
Well, no, there's one that people add they add a letter to the way they're saying it because it's spelled that way, but it's supposed to be pronounced. It's like it's not coming to me. It'll come to me.
People get mad about the thawed.
Thawed?
Thawed and de-thawed.
Oh. Yeah,
I
the
always say
same thing.
defrost, not
Yeah,
de-thawed.
I've never said de-thawed.
But I can see where people would object. It's a double negative.
Yeah.
But
This is like all downhill from here. It's similar.
I'm not
wording.
on the I'm not a word police, you know.
You're other kinds of police.
Yeah, I am. I thank God I don't also have I don't know if I could even be with me. Irregardless, it's in there. What were we talking about before? Irregardless.
Data and data.
Oh, data and data.
Okay. So she sold Bobbi. I'm sorry. Sold Bobbi Brown in 1995 for $75 million. That is $159 million today.
Okay, I said 250.
Yeah.
I was being a little
Optimistic.
Yeah. These people who can build multiple billion-dollar companies, so impressive.
Good on them.
So impressive.
Yeah, it really is. Okay. There's a quiz you're going to take.
Okay.
It's a learning styles quiz
Okay.
because we talked about visual learners.
Yeah, she said she was a visual
She
learner.
did.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out what you are. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the choices are often, sometimes, and seldom.
Often, sometimes, seldom.
Yes.
Okay.
I follow written directions better than oral directions.
Seldom.
Okay. I can remember more about a subject through listening than reading.
Sometimes.
I bear down extremely hard when writing.
Always. What is that?
Often?
Often, yeah.
Really? I like to write things down or take notes for visual review.
Yes. Often.
I require explanations of graphs, diagrams, or visual directions.
I don't think so.
Seldom. I enjoy working with tools.
All the time.
I am skillful and enjoy developing and making graphs and charts.
Never.
I can tell if sounds match when presented with pairs of sounds.
I'd say yeah.
Often or sometimes?
Often.
Okay. I remember best by writing things down several times.
Often.
I can understand and follow directions on maps.
Often.
I do better at academic subjects by listening to tapes and lectures.
Often.
I play with coins or keys in pockets.
I mean, I have this is my binky. I'm going to say often.
I can better understand a news article by reading about it than by listening to it on the radio.
False.
Okay,
Rarely.
Seldom.
I
learn to spell better by repeating the letters out loud than by writing the word on paper.
Never.
Okay. I chew gum, snack, or smoke during studies.
Always.
I feel the best way to remember is to picture it in one's head.
I don't know.
Sometimes? Okay. I would rather listen to a good lecture or speech than read about the same material in a book.
Always.
I learned spelling by finger spelling words in the air with index finger, the words.
Never. Seldom.
I am good at working and solving jigsaw puzzles.
Sometimes.
I prefer listening to the news on the radio more than reading about it in the newspaper.
Often.
I grip objects in my hands during learning periods.
Often.
I obtain information on an interesting subject by reading related materials.
Often.
I follow oral directions better than written ones.
Often.
I feel very comfortable touching others, hugging, handshaking, etc.
Too much. The results are your perf.
Okay, interpreting the perceptual preference form. Your perceptual preference can indicate through which channel to your brain information flows most easily. Information that you receive through your preferred channels is more quickly understood and more easily remembered. Arrange your academic life to take advantage of your best channels. Your highest score, tactile.
Oh.
You learn
touchy.
You learn best by experience or hands-on activity, by being involved physically in classroom experiences. You remember information well when you actively participate in activities, field trips, and role-playing in the classroom, or working on experiments in a laboratory, handling and building models, and touching and working with materials. Writing notes or instructions or a combination of stimuli, for example, an audio tape combined with an activity such as listen to a summary tapes you've made while you jog, or making flashcards will help you understand and remember new material.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Your auditory score was second. That was a 30. Your tactile was a 36. Then your auditory is a 30. Your lowest is visual at 24.
Okay, so I'm not a visual learner.
Turns out, no.
Not true.
That was cool.
Yeah. Do you want to give me the computer and I'll do it to you?
No, it's all right.
Okay. What do you think you are based on that?
I think I am a visual learner.
Okay. Ironic because your vision is not great.
I
think how brilliant you'd be if you could see.
I know, my God. It'd be too much for the world.
Yeah.
It's why when I read, I like a book. I don't like an audiobook.
Right.
It's in and out. I can't follow that.
Can't hold on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one's a little tricky because I do retain a lot of hearing podcasts, but that feels different to me for some reason.
Yeah, maybe that feels more like a classroom, a professor situation.
Well, it's because often there's two people. So it's a conversation, it's engagement. I don't get to tune out.
Right.
And I feel like I'm participating.
Yeah, you're like making a counter argument
Yes,
sometimes.
exactly.
Yeah, it's engaging.
Yeah. I don't think I'm very tactile. Although
You're not super mechanical.
No.
And you don't do pottery. Were you good at origami or folding paper?
Never tried it. I don't know.
That's Link. Like, that's when Link kind of blows my mind is the things she builds. Like this card she made you for your birthday was so cute.
It was so cute.
Or her dioramas she makes. I'm like, oh yeah, she really has a knack for this.
Yes. Yeah, no. That's probably my lowest.
Yeah.
But I do like holding things. And I do like toothpicks.
Sure, the little tactile.
I like chewing on. I like having like some objects while
oral
I'm
stimulation.
while I'm busy.
Yeah, oral fixation they call
Let's
it.
call it that.
Let's go.
So I'm
Let's
a
stick
perv
with the
too.
traditional. Your results are in. You're a perv.
Okay, that's it.
That was it on Bobbi Brown?
Yeah.
You must admire her, no?
So much.
Yeah.
So much. I felt
Very seen.
I did. I was like, oh, especially when she talks about being in the details and that being like, you know, in her head, she was like, yeah, no, I was fired. They wouldn't say I was fired, but they told me to get out of the day-to-day. That is the job.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I get her.
Yeah. It also made me, it's a good heads up for like, it's easy to be judgmental of people on their phone when you're doing a shared activity.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're watching a movie. It's certainly my preference. Someone would not be on their phones.
Yeah.
But to hear her say it and I'm not involved in that. And that's just that's how she enjoys sitting there with a movie on.
I know.
I was like, yeah, I got to be more.
Well, I think that's just having an understanding of the other person, but also they could have an understanding that like you enjoy quality time, which means not being distracted on the phone. Yeah. I mean, I do that, but I'm by myself.
Yeah.
If I'm with people, I try not to do that.
Same. I even know if I'm by myself, I'll be like, put this down. You're going to either watch this or...
Right. I try to, but then all of a sudden it's back in my hand.
I started the wrong show, but what a blessing.
What?
Ryan's been saying that the Jason Momoa thing is great.
Oh.
It's on Apple TV.
Okay.
You know, he's in like a loincloth and stuff.
Oh, you love that.
Yeah. You can see his buns a lot, I guess.
No,
I haven't.
You love that.
So I go to Apple TV and boom, there it is. He's on the cover. He's looking warrior-like. I watch it. It's called C.
Yeah.
And it's by Stephen Knight, Peaky Blinders.
Oh, cool.
And the premise is it's in the future and all humans are blind now.
Right.
And it's great. But I'm sending Ryan voice memos going, when am I going to see his buns? Like,
sure.
Also, I guess the only hard thing to accept about this show is that they can still fight even though they're blind, whatever. He sends me one back.
Stevie
You're
Mo?
not watching the same show.
Oh.
I am.
Oh.
So Momoa has two shows on Apple.
Wow.
What's the other one, Rob?
Chief of War. I think
Chief of War.
C's a little older. Chief of War just came out.
Okay.
But he's got two where he's
Good
in the
for him.
jungle swinging a sword. I mean,
Wow.
at the same time.
You should come on and tell us about them.
Oh, I'd love to have him on.
You'd love to see those buns in person.
I like following him on Instagram.
He
He's
seems
always
nice.
having a good time and drinking a lot of beers.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think he has a really good appetite for brewskis, which I think is cool.
Nice.
All right.
All right, love you.
Love you.